Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the first of many international fixtures that we are going to be covering today. This one's going to be between Scotland and Japan and should be a very great way to start off the weekend of rugby. It is going to be a very exciting one and could be a very physical battle as well. This is a prelim, I guess you could say, to so many of the other matches that we have got tonight, but this one is one that I am certainly not going to be missing. I hope you are all doing well. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat as well. But looking through at first of all, the home side here, Scotland, and they have come out with a very strong side. They were very unlucky not to be able to get that win over the Springboks in what was a very close encounter for them up until the final moments. Looking through, Jamie Ritchie moves back to 6. Hamish Watson going to be starting in the number 7 jersey for this one. He did come off the bench last week, and then also a couple changes for them when it comes to that locking duo to see whether or not it will work out for them. But they have got Jamie Buttey starting at number 1 rather than Schoolman, who will be coming off the bench in the later stages. Finn Russell starting at 10, who is just a player who can cut open a game. Duan Vandermerwe out on one wing, Darcy Graham out on the other, and then Stuart Hogg, the man who scored 2 tries last week. He is going to be sitting there and number 15, but it should be a very exciting one to see how it goes high as well from Reed Nichols. And also Danny Lewis has said, long time no talk, how are you as well? I'm doing very well, mate. We have got plenty of international rugby on today. This is the first of 4 games that we are covering on the channel for just today, and it is going to be a test for the vocal cords, but hopefully does all run smoothly. This is the starting lineup that Japan have decided to go with. They have got Leach, also Labuskakane, the captain, and then Kazuki Hamano, who a lot of people from New Zealand know due to his stint at the Highlanders, where he was very impressive throughout that time. Matsuda will be starting at 10, Nakamura at number 12, and then they have gone with Nakano as number 13. Matsushima, he is one to look out for in this game, but he's going to be marking up against the very dangerous Duan Vandermerwe. Fafita out on the other wing, and Yamanaka will be slotting in at 15 for this one as well. Looking through at the benches now, who wins as well, says John. It's going to be a tough one to decide, but I believe Scotland should be able to win this game, but it's just a matter of what Japanese side we are going to get to see here, because if they play like they did up against the Wallabies, they will be very close in this one. If they play like they did up against Ireland, could be a runaway for Scotland. We will have to wait and see how it does go, but we have got the Japanese national anthem at the moment, and then we will be right into the kickoff, and we also got there supporting Japan with my wife as well, says Danny Lewis. And also, hello, Hamish. I saw you did a video with the Rugby Guru, says Sharkbrain. We did indeed, mate. We did it last night at, I believe it was about 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. or something along those lines. Did end up having a filming session we have got there. I got a bet on Scotland to win both halves. They are not impressive. And they were not impressive against the Irish as well, says Sharkbrain. I assume that is for Japan in that regard. But yeah, this stage, it's one of those ones. They started the match extremely well up against Australia. They had never scored a try in the first half of a match up against the Wallabies, and they were able to break that record. So hopefully we do get to see a strong Japanese side here, and they have got the lineup who have got the ability of being able to do so. But this game is being played at Murrayfield, the stadium that is behind me. It's going to be very exciting to see how it does go. But if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like. Also subscribe. This is the first of 4, like I mentioned, the other matches that we are going to be covering on the channel today. England versus South Africa, huge game, that one. Then also after that, it is going to be Wales versus Australia. And then to close it out, it is going to be the match between the All Blacks and France. And that is going to be a 9 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. But we are certainly going to be up for it at the moment. We're listening to Flower Scotland prediction 35-18 in favour of Scotland, says S-Box there. Or S-Box, sorry. And yeah, I feel like that's probably not a terrible shout in that regard. I think you could be pretty close with that one. But now at this stage, Scotland are going to be hoping to get themselves in a good finishing mood for the end of this Autumn Nation series. It is a shame we're already at the final round. We've had a few rounds of it, but it does have to come to a close very soon, and this is the last round, so we're going to make the most of it. There are plenty of games happening, including Fiji versus Georgia, which isn't even one of the games that we are covering on the channel, but it will be on World Rugby's YouTube channel at 4 a.m. New Zealand time, so that just means that we will be able to watch the game back a little bit later on, I should say, but they are showing Finn Russell. I feel like he is going to need a big game here. Needs to try and create possible opportunities for the men on the outside. Chris Harris could actually be one of the stars for Scotland in that backline, just doing its job thoroughly. And then also Sam Johnson maybe could be a good option. But at this stage, the Scottish national anthem is almost finished. No way this will be a blowout. Japan won't do much as well. Oh, no way. This will be a blowout. Japan won't do much as well, says Sharpbrain. It depends. Everyone thought that the Wallabies were going to be able to dominate, yet Japan were right in that game until the closing moments. All Blacks today as well, says Reed Nichols. We've got the jet planes flying over the top of the stadium at the moment, which is awesome to see. But Scotland, They have got the home field advantage at Murrayfield as well. This is where they want to be playing, that is for sure, and they will be hoping to get themselves a big win to close out their Autumn Nation Series. But both sides are looking ready to go. Japan will be going from the right to the left, and I believe it will be Scotland who have got the ball in hand to kick this one off for the first match of the Tier 1 nations of this day. But they are showing the front row once again. It is going to be Batty, Turner, and also Ferguson who will be starting in that front row. Gilchrist and Cummings as the locking duo, and then Ritchie, Hamish Watson, and then also Bayliss will be making up the loose forward. Duan Whanamurva, Stuart Hogg, Darcy Graham, all players who have got the ability to score tries. Then Finn Russell at 10 and Ali Price at 9 is a beautiful combination for the Scottish here to see if they can get themselves over the line a few times. It's got there. How's everyone doing as well? Says Ed Vogel. I'm doing very well, mate. We've got plenty of matches to Japan have the key players, mate, as well. They have got Michael Leach, Kazuki Himeno, and also Labaskakni as their three in the loose forward trio, which I feel like is going to be pretty crucial for them. They've also got out on the wing Matsushima. Definitely keep an eye out for that man. And out on the other wing for Fita with Yamanaka slotting in at number 15. That's the thing. If you watch the Japanese top league, you will know about some of these young players coming through the ranks of Japanese rugby, and they are certainly going to be a good one to watch. Scotland by 14. Duan Whanamurva to score first as well, says Albert. And also we have got the All Blacks today, says Reed. And also I'm good in you, Ed, says Sharp Brain there. But they are showing the benches. Going to be interesting to see how early these guys decide to use their benches throughout this fixture. But Duan Whanamurva, I doubt they will be taking him off the field. That is for sure. He is going to be staying out there for the full 80. 4 tries in his last 4 test tries. Or sorry, his 4 last test. That was too many tests. 4 tries in his last 4 tests for Scotland. That is the sentence I was after. Who is Japan's fly half? They have actually gone with Rikaya Matsuda is the man who they have gone with, who is actually a very good player. They've got Tamura off the bench as well for the later stages. But it is going to be Brendan Pickerel in charge of this fixture at Murrayfield. The crowd are getting hyped up at this stage, and this should be a very exciting contest. And it is a perfect way to start off a weekend of rugby for international level. We've actually already seen a couple games taking place a little bit earlier on. I believe Brazil were playing Chile as one of the fixtures on World Rugby's website, but the countdown is upon us, and it is actually going to be Japan kicking off from left to right. Monday Rugby, yes, as I said, Reed, yes, we have got the game between Argentina and Ireland taking place on Monday, but there's going to be Japan kicking off now, and it's taken nicely by Finn Russell inside of the 22, returning fire downfield. Oh, a little bit of a trap there from Japan, trying to stop that ball from going out, and it is their fullback here, Yamanaka, going down the wing, and he has been able to break the line now. He's got a lot of space. Ferguson able to drag him down just inside of their own half here, Japan, and they are going to be trying to link up nicely. They have got a crisp back line when they get it going. Michael Leach there with the carry. Still on the side of Japan. Looking out to try and get it out into the hands of Matsushima instead now. Going to be wrestled down to the ground. And Japan at this stage, you would say that they have to make sure they start this match well, because if they do not, then that is where Scotland can possibly get themselves that little bit of an advantage and keep on building up. But for now, Japan building up the phases as well. It's nice drawing pass, and it is working out nicely for them. Ali Price able to make the tackle on the Japanese centre it was. Now it's going to be Labaskakni driving his way forward just inside of the half now of Scotland. Michael Leach once again carrying it, and Japan, they will do this all day if they do get the opportunity. Just hitting it up. Nagare now, passing it back across field. And dragged down, it was Valu. Still available, Japan up to 10 phases now. Wide cut out pass there, close to the touchline. Bumping his way forward is Fafita. So Japan at this stage, they are putting together maybe the most phases we will see throughout this whole match in the very first match. What if Scotland lost at home to Japan as well, says Sharp Brain? And I tell you what, it can happen. Japan are a very capable side when it comes to their rugby. We've got their looking sharp. I hope everyone's doing well as well, says Sebastian. We are indeed, mate. Plenty of rugby. Nice cut-out pass there. And Labaskakni, the captain, dragged down. Still on the side of Japan, though, up to 13 phases. They are not giving Scotland the ball early on here. Doing very nicely with the ball retention. Once again, it is going to be fire back, and now it's looking a bit better for them. Kazuki Himeno trying to shunt off the tackle of Chris Harris, so he's going to be dragged down. It's actually Josh Bayliss starting at 8 for this game rather than Ferguson. Matt Ferguson, he will be coming off the bench. Once again, Japan going for the set play. It's looking good for them as well, finding the offload. Plenty of pressure from Scotland, though. Japan still sitting on the halfway line. Once again, finding the offload, I believe it was Cornelison getting his first carry. And I'm liking the fact that Japan aren't willing to just kick this ball away and give the ball back to Scotland. They've decided that they want to keep on trying to wear down Scotland in the early stages. They haven't gone anywhere. They're still on the halfway line. But they look like they are just going to keep on. Oh, he's kicked it. He's down the box kick there. The number 9, Nagare now. And now it's in the hands of Scotland, Finn Russell, trying to decide what to do. He decides to kick it back down the middle of the field, and it's a penalty there. Kiwi, you tell that Bika to meet me in Sydney for a fight. He dissed me on TV. He dissed my TV as well, says Stephen there. So I feel like maybe he is the best one to talk about in that regard. He's actually live at the moment as well, I believe, Stephen. Whoever's got there. I've always wondered what a cutout pass means as well, says Shark Brain. Pretty much it does mean that you cut out the middle man. I guess it's about as simple as that. Pretty much it does mean that you cut out the first receiver and decide to go to the second in that regard. I hope that makes sense. But now at this stage, Scotland, they get the penalty, and 15 minutes out now, they will be going for their rolling maul, which is very strong as well. They have got Stuart Turner, who will be starting at number 2 for this one. McAnally, he was starting last time, but instead, I believe he is actually, he's coming off the bench for this one. I wanted to make sure because I know that a few sides have had a few problems with their number 2s recently in terms of injury. I know that Tolulatu will actually be starting at 2 for the Wallabies. I love my TV as well. Says Stephen, what type of TV have you got, mate? Do let me know, but now it is going to be the rolling maul here for Scotland. Not really going forward here for Stuart Turner, so he's going to pass it back to Price. First receiver here, it is going to be Sam Johnson stepping, and Michael Leach trying to wrestle him down, but well done from Japan to be able to slow them down. But Scotland still have this ball in hand. It will be Grant Gilchrist now driving forward 20 metres out, 4 minutes into this game. Hamish Watson, they've got the advantage here for Scotland as well, so a little bit offside for Japan. Price now fires it back. Finn Russell, wide cutout pass, way too wide, and it does mean that it is going to be going back for the penalty. Just like the Gary Owen. Oh, sorry, just like a Gary Owen is now a bomb as well. Says Memania. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I think I say that every single time I try and pronounce your name. But yeah, I hope you are doing well, mate. But Finn Russell now looks like he wants to scrum here. And he was told, nah, we're going for the corner, mate. So now it is going to be, once again, Scotland who will be on the attack. Hamish, you look ready for a wedding. I am. I'm about to get married, which is very good news. Married to all the rugby that is going on today, that is for sure. I hope Japan wins as well, says Mr. Achilles. They've got the ability. That is for sure, Japan. They were unlucky in that first game up against the Wallabies. The way that they were playing, they were doing well, but they just couldn't quite get over the line in the later stages of that one. Hamish, long time, mate, as well, says Achilles. It's great to see you, and I hope you have been well, and hope you are excited for the amount of international rugby that we have got ourselves. We are going to be covering the game between the Springboks and England straight after this one, and we're pretty much back to back to back all through the night up until 11 a.m. New Zealand time in 9 hours' time. It's going to be taken nicely there by Scott Cummings now. The rolling maul of Scotland once again looks like it is going to start rolling. They have been told to use it once. Looks like it's pretty stable at the moment. Japan doing well to defend it. And now it's starting to creep to the side. Starting to use that momentum. Scotland rolling forward big time here. Turner's dragged down only a metre short of the line. Very nicely done by Japan to be able to stop them. I'm looking around for Hamish Watson because he was able to score himself a try not that long ago. Duan Fundermerva looks like he's backing himself like he's a big forward, and he's over the line. Duan Fundermerva, and he's been able to score it. You don't need forwards when you got that man on the wing, and he has just scored himself the opening try of this fixture for Scotland. We'll go like this, and we will go like this. We will add his name, Duan Fundermerva, able to score the try. We knew that he wouldn't be too far away from being able to get one because he is such a dangerous player, but Duan Fundermerva was the man who was able to score it. He just ended up, he was like, you know what, I'm big enough and strong enough that I could be a forward here and just end up picking and going around the side of the breakdown. Only had to go a metre ahead. Grant Gilchrist, I believe it was, on his side, helped him over, and it just drops the head to one Fundermerva. He probably would go all right in the 4-pack if he did decide that he didn't want to be a wing because he has got pace for days as well, so that means that he does go pretty well no matter where he is playing. And also Duan can easily switch to Lucy as well, says Mimini. And also, I'm good, thanks. How are you been? As well, and yes, I'm excited for all the games. I've been pretty well. We have had plenty of rugby, and it seems like it is one of those ones that once this weekend's over, doesn't really slow down for myself. I have still got the 7s that we will be covering. Finn Russell strikes it, hits the post. So that is going to remain unconverted. And Snappy Dressing Bro, best wishes, from Scotland, mate, says, old Bitcoiner, welcome into the live stream, mate. And Sebastian, I am going to punch him for Dis My TV as well, says Stephen there. And also we have got the, I'm been good, thanks, man. How have you been as well? And also Achilles wants to fight. I want a fight. I fight a bull once as well, says Stephen. And also we have got that Fundermerva supposed to play lock. That guy is like 2 meters tall, says Shark Brain. And also, what do you think of Rusty's verdict, mate? Are you allowed to comment, mate, says Shark Brain? I think until it is kind of confirmed, because I know that he was going to possibly end up kind of countering it, or not countering it, but trying to, I guess, I can't think of the word off the top of my head. Sure, I'd like to fight you as well, says Achilles there. But yeah, pretty much, I don't want to comment just in case it does get changed. So it is one of those ones that I will wait and see kind of the outcome of it before making too many comments, but it's going to be taken nicely by Yamanaki now, just outside of their own 22. Japan with a good attacking run there. And it will be Matsushima wrestled down to the ground on the halfway line. Now, Japan, last time, it was the mistake of giving the ball back to Scotland. They went for the kick in behind, and it ended up costing them the possession. So they need to make sure they hang on to it here, even if it does mean that they continuously just get hit hard by the Scottish players passing it out wide. Now it is going to be Fafita stepping back on the inside, trying to run over the top of, I believe it was the number 8 there, which in this one is Bayless. Like I mentioned, Fagerson going to be coming off the bench. Good attacking run there for Japan, and they are sitting 40 meters out now. Once again, looking to the short side here, Nagare. The good offload, and it's going back for the penalty as well. We've got there, Duan is from South Africa. That explains his power in left. And also, will you apologise to a ref? Or will you apologise to a ref that made 26 mistakes and one game made as well? Shape Brain, I don't have to. So that is fine there. And also, nice try for Duan. He was my prediction, by the way, as I said, Sebastian. And yeah, I mean, I saw that someone else earlier on as well said that Duan van der Merwe would be the first man to score a try. And now Japan, they've kicked it for the corner. They've decided that they don't want the 3-pointer, but instead going to try and push their way towards the 7. Because if they get the try and then convert, they will be in the lead after 9 minutes in this game, which is where we are sitting at the moment. Ali Price, he will have to have a good game in that number 9 jersey. And I think it is the round of the fly halves almost. I've just got that feeling with the likes of Aaron Smith versus Dupont. I know that that's a battle everyone wants to see. Also, it will be a Kobus Reinhardt getting the start for South Africa, and that will be up against Ben Youngs. So that is a lot of experience there for Youngs, and not so much for Reinhardt, but he is a very good player indeed. A little bit of a loose carry, but that is going to be going back for the penalty. Love the commentary as well. Says Rugby Pass. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. Is that the real Rugby Pass? Do let me know, but if it is, hope you are doing very well indeed. Yeah, the South African DNA runs deep as well, and also looks like I'm winning both my bets on Scotland as well. See Sharp Brandon. Also, we have got there, no, not African DNA. South African DNA, don't get it wrong as well. And yeah, I apologize to the ref. And then like him as well, he goes, and Rugby Pass as well, says Tony, and hey guys, says Tesla there as well. But at this stage, Japan, they are going to have another chance of kicking for the corner. They've decided that 3-pointers aren't going to be enough for them to be able to win. That's a fake Rugby Pass as well. See Sharp Brain there. Hamish Watson, very talented player. Oh, he's actually taken on the 3 here, deciding that it will be the better option just to get them some form of points on the board. And a Matsuda, very capable kicker. So far, sitting at 77%, 10 from 13. And also, welcome in, mate. Says Sebastian there. And no, it's not African as well, says Achilles. But that's the thing. The top league starting up in a very short moment. The Japanese top league, that is. And we're not fake as well, says Rugby Pass. I mean, welcome in then. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's hugely appreciated. I am wearing the suit for this one. Feeling very official. That one's gone over from Matsuda. Now the score is going to be 5 points to Scotland and 3 for Japan as well. No, it's not as well, says Mimanea. And also, hope you're well, brother, says Sebastian there as well. Now, this stage on the halfway line, it will be Scotland kicking off once again to Japan. We're at Murrayfield. It's a beautiful day for rugby. I believe they said earlier on that the rain was supposed to be coming in, but instead now it has held off for just a little bit longer, which does mean we've got some dry conditions. I know a couple rounds ago, pretty much every game was affected by rain, including Wales versus, I believe they were playing Australia at Principality Stadium. Oh, sorry, that's a game that's coming up now. I believe it was Wales versus South Africa, and it was absolutely bucketing down for that game, but it looks pretty dry here now at this stage. Down the wing, beautiful fin there from the Japanese number 7, the captain, Lavaskakani. Throwing it back once again, now it's Matsuda. Draw and pass. Hitting the ball up nicely, 45 meters out at the moment. Miller gets the carry. He is starting in the number 1 jersey for this picture for Japan. And I am from South Africa. I do live here, as well, says Achilles. And also we have got there, this is the original Kiwi lads, as I said, Shape Brandon. Also, it's not normal seeing Hamish in the suit now. Oh, it's so normal seeing Hamish in the suit now. Also, can't wait for the All Blacks at 9 a.m. It's going to be an absolutely awesome game. A physical one, but also I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what France can do in that game. They've got Dupont. They've got Aaron Smith back in the All Blacks number 9 jersey with Perenara and also Finley Christie missing out. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out the pin for all the lovely stuff as well, says Sebastian. Be sure to check that out. We have got the Kiwi Lads, Rugby Down Under podcast where we talk all things international rugby every single week. And this week, we've got that many games of rugby. It's going to go for 2 hours at least, I would think. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be absolutely loving it. We have got there Wood like another double. Achilles says Mania there. And also we have got there, hey, Sebastian, mate, I'm good. And also, no, you'll drink my poison. And did Finn Russell miss another kick? Is he really the best fly half in the world? Says Sharp Brain. I mean, I always consider it, though. Like, if we're talking about fly halves, I don't normally consider the kicking as much, if that makes sense, because normally as the 10, you are the playmaker. Yes, kicking can help a lot, but then normally these guys, like some of the best playmakers in the world, don't actually do the kicking for their sides. But Finn Russell, he did miss the one earlier on. He's only missed the one so far in the match now. Now Japan going to be flying their way forward. But Finn Russell, there is a reason they were going to make him the most expensive rugby player in the world when he was going to sign for the Japanese top league. But instead, he was committed to Racing 92 in the top 14, which is another competition coming back. You can boy as well. And also, hey, Kiwi, you're going to be doing the commentary about England and South Africa. I am indeed, mate. We're going to be covering that game. Also, Wales versus Australia, and then New Zealand taking on France. That's going to be, once again, a penalty against Scotland. So the discipline at this stage, Chris Harris not able to roll away. Also, we have got that either this rugby pass is fake or this Kiwi lads is fake. As I said, Sharp run down. Also, we have got there the rain saves Wales. We would have beaten them 50-15 as well, says Spock there. And also for never being the best in the world low as well, says Mr. Achilles, and go Scotland, hey Hamish, and looking forward to it. As well, says Rugby Pass there. Another chat, but now it looks like it is going to be kicking for the corner here for Japan, unless they might actually take the 3 here and get themselves into the lead. I believe that will be the option that they will take. Get a lead over Scotland and then keep on going from there. And also, Shark Brain, maybe you are fake as well, says Mr. Achilles there. And also, I'll give you a sealed bottle as well, says Mimania. At this stage, the discipline of Scotland, they are actually having a bit of a chat in a huddle. 4 penalties against them so far in the first 14 minutes of this game. They cannot afford to have too many more in the early stages, or else they could end up maybe having a man go to the bin. What if you poison the bottle and then sealed it yourself as well? And also, what do you want to do this again? We have 4 lives today, and you really didn't take long as well, says Sebastian. Also, damn son, Rugby Pass has 102k subs as well, says Tessa. They are a very big network when it comes to the rugby world, that is for sure. And Japan have come such a long way, says Kevin. And also, I'm the original Shark Brain, mate, says Shark Brain. I'll send you to the liquor store to buy it in the chat as well. I'm trying to hide my hair because you can slightly see it at the back, and I feel like that's not a good thing because it is pretty rough overall. But now, Wumi Matsuda once again, 15 minutes into this game, he's missed. It's gone away to the right-hand side, so it will remain 5 points to Scotland and 3 for Japan. Both kickers missing one early on in this one, and it looks like Scotland straight away. Stuart Hogg running up to the 22. And now it is going to be a good opportunity. Sharp Brain, you have proof URL, or maybe you're just a bot as well, says Achilles there. But Stuart Hogg going to be kicking off this one for the 22 dropout. Big strike there from him, and it is now going to be 35 meters out from the Japanese line, taken nicely by Matsuda, gives it across. Kazuki Himino now at the Highlanders. He was absolutely phenomenal. Gets up, goes again for Japan, and almost up to the halfway line. That is not going to be called a rule, so it's bouncing out the back now, looking to the short side. Drawing past Leach with another carry. It is great to see him back in the Japanese kit. I know that he had an injury a couple weeks ago, unfortunately, that did leave him out of that game up against Australia, which he was originally going to be coming off the bench. Firing it back now once again. Japan, quick backline, big hit there from Chris Harris, but Fafita down the wing. Beautiful offload on the inside to Lavaskakni, but it was a little knock on. And now Scotland will have the scrum feet, but that looks strong from Japan. They were able to just use that classic draw and pass to the back line. Big hit there from Chris Harris on the ribcage of Nakano, his opposite number, but Fafita down the wing. Darcy Graham will have his hands full, but handling the situation pretty well so far. Not handling the ball, though, was the Lavaskakni, and he did put it down. Okay, you can choose the liquor store as well, says Mimania there. But yeah, that was certainly a big hit. He looks like he's bounced back not too badly from it. Shogo Nakano is the name there. And also, there is a player in Japan that played for the Highlanders before. I think Highlanders or one of the New Zealand teams, says Achilles. It is indeed Kazuki Himino, believe it or not. So he is out there at the moment in the number 8 jersey. Very talented player. We are honoured to have Rugby Pass in the chat, I guess, as well. Says Sharkman, we definitely are. It is pretty awesome because it's weird having the feeling of like, as if it is the real Rugby Pass, which I have said that they are. So I hope that they are saying that because they are. That sounded like a weird loophole type thing, but pretty much like when you watch them on YouTube, like it's kind of weird seeing them in the chat as well, but it's absolutely awesome at the same time. They'll be wondering why I'm wearing my suit But pretty much anytime there's a big match, we do end up putting on the suit for the live commentary. We have got there, what if you own the world as well and all the galaxies, and also we have got there how much trouble is to get Gissup, and also we have got there why don't you just focus on calling this match and drop all the irrelevant beers you rattle on more than the Australian as well. It's pretty much because of the fact that without you guys in the chat, this is just commentary, and that is not really the way that we're going down. Anytime there's a stoppage in play, we make sure we do get to communicate with you guys, because at the end of the day, we are only here because of you guys. As well, maybe Rugby Pass wants you on the channel as well. And now that's a massive scrum there for Scotland. Ali Price tries the American football throw, and that is going to be going back for the penalty now to Scotland. Scott there as well. No, I think he's the legit one. You can't get a verified, or you can't get the verified tick. As well says Tesla, and also I'm a mini. Well, I've been sober for 3 years now, and I can survive, says Achilles. And also we have got there in the chat as well. Maybe Rugby Pass wants you on the channel. Amish says Sharp Brandon. Also welcome in, Les. Welcome in, Katie. Thank you very much for tuning in to this live stream. That's a brilliant kick there from Finn Russell, and now sitting 10 meters out. It is going to be the line out here for Scotland. 18 minutes into this game, and at this stage, still sitting 5-3, but they don't look like they're too far away from being able to get themselves another one. Hey, Katie says Stefan, unless that tick is just an emoji as well. She's Sharp Brain. I think it is just because of the fact that on mine, it doesn't actually show ticks and whatnot. So I feel like maybe I can't see that information, but I assume it is the real one as well, which is pretty awesome. We have got there. Well, I do love ciders as well, says Achilles there. Passing it to the back, taken nicely by Scotland, now looking for the rolling maul. Looks like it's going to be sitting in the hands of Stuart Turner, just outside or just inside of the 22, sorry. Nelly Price is sweating on it, waiting for the opportunity to pass, and now they use that back line once again. Sam Johnson, little grubber of mine, sitting up for Chris Harris. No, taken by Japan, and now it's a counter-attack. It's going to be Fafita. Good offload on the inside here for Japan, but a lot of pressure on it was Sakate. But now looking to the right-hand side, a little bit of a tap on there, out to Matsushima. And he's going to be kicking it right down the middle of the field there. Plenty of space, but Stuart Hogg takes it in now. When you give this man a little bit of space to work, he will make you pay. Stuart Hogg with a step, trying to go through. Good tackle on him, though. And it was, in the end, the number 8, Kazuki Yamano. And also, it's the real one as well. There's a Sebastian there in ALDA. It's been a while, brother. Hope you're well. And the chat from it was Katie Dixon. And also, mate, you talk too much as well, says Jamie. I'll take it as a compliment. If I ever need to sell your house, let me know. But now Finn Russell going to be going with the grubber of mine, the right. For the left foot, and taken nicely by Japan, but they are stuck at the moment inside of their own half. Chris Harris trying to hold him up. He has been able to wrestle his way to the ground there. Yamanaka once again going back into the hands of the captain, Lawaskakni. And it looks like, it's a penalty to Japan as well. And also we have got there. I really hope Japan can get the win today. As I said, Tesla, and are there even verified channels on YouTube? Or is it like Twitter now as well? I think there are. You can get yourself a verified tick. I don't know how to do it. I don't think they would ever give us one, but yeah, I know that you can do it. And if you ever need to sell your house, let me know as well, says Katie Dixon there in the chat. And now at this stage, Japan getting another penalty. That is about 5 penalties now against Scotland in the early stages. Sam Johnson, 21st Scotland cap, all starts as well. So he's never not started, Sam Johnson, which is very impressive. Scotland love a low-scoring game. As I see Sharp Brandon woke up to the rugby, so life is good, says Katie Dixon there. But Japan now kicking this one for the touchline. It's a good kick as well, down to near the halfway line, and it is going to be the line out now for Japan, but they are only sitting 2 points behind at this stage. 21 minutes in. Katie, does my heart count as a house? I'd want you to buy it as well, says Achilles, and haircut win as well, says X, and go Bloss as well. I feel like a haircut might have to be coming very soon. It is getting mentioned more and more that my haircut is not ideal at this stage. But now it is going to be the backline movement once again for Japan. Drawing past. Another huge hit there from Chris Harris, who's just putting in the big ones. So far, another knock on there from Japan. And Darcy Graham trying to take the quick throw. And now it will be the scrum feed or the line out option for Scotland. We have got there. This is promising as well, says Dwayne. And that's good, Katie. Yeah, rugby, always something to be excited about. And woke up to the rugby, so life is good. And also facepalm, says Mimania. But then it was a massive hit there on this time Matsushima nailed by Chris Harris and get a mullet. As well, says Hex. I want to see that short ear, says X there. See, I had short ear for a very long time, and then I decided to try and grow it out because I feel like as soon as I cut it again, it's not going to grow back, more than likely. Feel like my genetics are just going to be against me there. Hamish Watson gets it at the back, but it's called not straight. So now it will be Japan who have got the scrum feed. We have got the Imagine Hamish with a comb over as well, says Achilles. I feel like having a comb over with the length that it is at the moment would look very interesting. You'll join the mullet council as well. Says Katie Dixon. Also, AB's proved that mullets don't work. Says Mimania. They work for a little while. But I guess it's probably heading into summer, so maybe it is coming into mullet season, unless mullets are for the winter, perhaps. But that one was called Not Straight, a little bit harsh, and you should go bald. And if it don't grow back, oh well. So says X. That is easy to say when it's not your hair that is kind of disappearing. Who scored? It was Duan van der Merwe who was able to get it. That's a man bun, not a mullet as well. Says that Sharp Brain. And also we have got there, if you're All Black, or if you're an All Black, you have a higher chance of scoring a try if you have a mullet as well. And also, who scored for Scotland? It was Duan van der Merwe. We do have them come across the bottom of the screen, looking stunning, my man, as well, says Jeffrey. Thank you very much, mate. And also, we have got there as a fact there as well, says Tesla. It certainly is, and they will be hoping that the men with mullets can get them a few tries up against France. Once again, Japan looking for that set play in the back line, looking good. Oh, it's a big hit there. And looking for the touchline, 22 metres out now. Scotland will have the line-out throw. And it's play on. They decided to take it quickly. And now Scotland straight away with the counter-attack. It is Bayliss just throwing himself forward at the line. Scotland now looking like they aren't going to be kicking this one away too soon. Stuart Hogg couldn't speak for a second there. He's stepping once again. He is a dangerous player. That is John. Will Jordan with a mullet as well, says Hex. Be an interesting one. If he did ever decide to get a mullet, I'm sure he would get a few more hat-tricks. And the mullet blacks as well. And also 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10, says Katie there. Now, once again, on their 22 here, Ali Price passes it across to Finn. Russell goes for the kick in behind now. Looking for the space. Sits up nicely, though, on the halfway line for Tamura. And now they are going to be continuing to drive their way forward. It's actually Matsuda, but now beautiful run there from it is Matsushima, who is a just talented player in the top league. He will be one to watch out for in the future. Done this step as well. Just driving up to the 22 for Japan. 15 metres out. And Japan once again, Michael Leach. He was the captain a little while ago. Now it is Lewis Skakney trying to get the penalty advantage, and they have done this just that. Juggled by Finn Russell, and now going back once again. What do you think of the Bunnings NPC? I was glad to see that Waikato were able to get themselves to win their 100th year of provincial rugby as well. So it is one of those ones. It was pretty awesome to see them be able to get that one. Also, Hamish got in his case a red ball handy as well, says Mimania. And also, I can't believe Sam Kane is starting, and Cody Taylor didn't even make the team as well, says Shark Brown. I believe they have been rotating the stocks a little bit for the A-Blees, and also injured, says Hex there. And also gets my profile picture, stays for another week as well. Keep calm. I can read keep calm, but I'm not too sure what else it does say on there. And also, Hamish, you staying awake all night with all this rugby going on, mate? I am indeed, and we are commentating every single game that is happening. So yeah, if you guys are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're covering England versus South Africa, Wales versus Australia, and then also New Zealand taking on France. Matsushima over Fukuoka. Hopefully I pronounced that name correctly, but Matsushima, very, very talented player, and in the Japanese top league, he is going to be one to watch out for this year as well, and that is only coming back in a couple months' time, which is pretty awesome. Japan, once again, will have the option of kicking for the 3 here, but Scotland, the discipline is extremely important for them. They're up to about 6 or 7 penalties against them here. And also we have got their Hamish. Are you ready for an upset? England to beat the Springboks. England, God, save the Queen tonight. Let's go as well, says Aidan. It should be a very exciting game. Scotland, in this one, they are expected to win it. South Africa, they are the favourites in their game as well. And then that Wales versus Australia one, I feel like could go either way. Welcome in, Wayne, as well. See Sebastian there. And what's up, lad? And Chad as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to have you here. And be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Check out the pinned comment for more lovely stuff. Much appreciated. See Sebastian there. That one has gone over for Japan. So now after 26 minutes, it is going to be 6 points to Japan and 5 to Scotland. I'm excited because today I'm going to fly my RC helicopter. Other one has lost charge. I must buy a new one next year. I will buy a petrol RC car and drone. This is my hobby as well, says Mr. Achilles. I have, just Achilles there, but I did have a remote control. Wow, Van der Merwe just flew forward. But I did have a remote control helicopter, and I remember it was like for Christmas, or I've actually got a real mini one that has a camera on it, which sounds weird to say, but it's pretty much about this big, that part there, and it can literally fly, and it's got a camera, which is pretty awesome. Oh, no, sorry, that's a drone that I have got. But then I've also got a miniature helicopter as well. Stuart Hogg now breaking the line. Great step there from Stuart Hogg. Michael Leach must make that tackle, and he did indeed. Now Chris Harris backing himself. He's had his pants pulled down, but he is now going to be firing the ball back. Backline movement looking good for them here. Batty out to Stuart Hogg once again, attacking the line. Short ball. The hands of Sam Johnson, who has never not started a match for Scotland when he does play in 21 fixtures. Batty now getting the carry. Ali Price looking for the offload there. Beautiful one from Scotland, still driving their way forward. Protecting the ball nicely, looking with the numbers. Stuart Hogg, he goes through and he scores a try for Scotland. The first try of the match for Stuart Hogg. He scored 2 last week. Can he do the same in this one? We will have to wait and see. But Stuart Hogg, Duan Whanamuva, the 2 try scorers here for Scotland. We will add him to the try scorers list here. In the 27th minute, Stuart Hogg has been able to score himself his first try of this game. We have got there, what is everyone's take on Racing versus World Rugby saga going on? As well, says Wayne, it is certainly one of the biggest headlines that we have had this week. And that's the thing with the game coming up with England and South Africa. It's going to be very interesting to see how it does affect it. This is much better from Japan. And also, who do you think, or do you think New Zealand can win both halves? Same-ish, says Shark Brain. I'm not sure. That's going to be a hard game to predict there. And also Quinta Biomagic, please, says Hex there in the chat. And True Hamish, I've also got a miniature helicopter. It's probably the same one. Yeah, because it's a small one I bought when I was like 10 years ago, and even before that as well. Now I fly a big one at OMG Japan leading as well, says Ken. Unfortunately, though, I am very sorry, Ken. There has been a try for Scotland, and they have been able to convert it as well. Hoggy in the chat from Sebastian. And there's also Namibia versus Zimbabwe and Chile versus Russia. There's plenty of rugby going on. A little bit later on as well, there will be Fiji versus Georgia. That will be on the All Blacks YouTube channel alongside this game that we will be covering on the channel, which is South Africa versus England. Will Jordan score a try today? I think so as well. Says Tesla, very decent shout for him to be able to score. He's one of those players that no matter what, he always has a crack. Like even in the game that they lost up against Ireland, he was able to score himself a try. Also, the game before that he did play, I believe it was the game up against Wales. When he doesn't score a try, he always assists one at least as well. But now Finn Russell, once again, getting the carry. 29 minutes into this fixture at the moment, and Scotland got themselves a little bit of a lead to Brazil win. I believe they were leading at the last time that I did see it in about the 70-something minute. So someone, or Kenya, Kenya were able to get the win in the end. Oh, sorry, I think I was thinking of Kenya who were leading over Brazil, sorry. Because I know that, that doesn't look too good here for one of the Scottish players, and he does look like he is in a lot of discomfort. Is it Duan Whanamuva? No, it's Darcy Graham, who is down at the moment. Maybe New Zealand will come out firing like last weekend, but run out of steam in the second half. And also we have got there, it's an absolute shame. I don't live in the UK, so I can't watch any of the matches because their Amazon Prime isn't allowing the Irish IP addresses to view the games. Says username. It is. I know that a lot of people have been in that situation. They really don't like the fact that it's on Amazon Prime because it's limited who is able to watch the games, and it does suck in that regard because I know that other than the Autumn Nations YouTube channel, which will have the highlights afterwards, I don't think there's too many other live options, unfortunately, so I am sorry about that, bro. Is there any way to support you without going through YouTube as well? Says Cashman. I don't believe so, other than, I guess, follow us on Instagram. That would help us out, even though we don't actually use our Instagram, but I will put it in the link or in the chat as well. But yeah, pretty much our only way of supporting us is through YouTube in terms of those donations and the channel memberships if you do want access to those exclusive emojis. And tell your friends and family to subscribe, brother. Exactly right. That will help out a big time as well. All the small rugby teams are becoming great, says Eugene. It's absolutely awesome getting to see so many of the kind of teams in this competition. I want to help to upgrade your headset, says Cashman. Yeah, this one, it's a little bit rough, but I did actually try getting a newer one and it sounded not great. So I think I am going to have to work out exactly what one I do need to get. I might need a broadcasting one of some sort, but they are pretty pricey overall. But now it's going to be Kazuki Himano once again passing it back. Michael Leach, bounce pass to him. But Japan, they've actually had more of the possession in this game. Kazuki Himano, Pearson round the side, but Gilchrist, able to drag him down. Now, once again, driving their way forward. We've also got there in the chat as well. In the other fixtures, Namibia are leading Zimbabwe 20-10, and Italy are leading Uruguay 7-3 as well. So, yeah, there's plenty of games taking place at once. Oh, it's a knock on there from both sides. I believe Darcy Graham had a wee bit of a fumble, but it must have gone backwards. So it is now going to be the scrum feed. Fiji will win with 11 points as well. See Sharp Brain there. And Hamish, who do you think in the England game, with the Springboks and Tonga versus Romania? Tonga versus Romania is a tough one because Romania are a tough side. Tell you what, it's going to be tough. I'm going to say that Tonga win it by less than 10 points. I think Romania are going to be right in it, but maybe that physicality that Tonga will be able to bring in the early stages might be able to be the difference between them. And I mean, Kenya beat Brazil as well, says Mike there. And also we have got there great news for me in Kenya. Good morning, Amish, says Mike. Welcome in to Livestream. And can you make a PayPal or Streamlabs account and throw it in a pinned comment so people can donate, mate, as well, says Tesla. Perhaps that is something could look at doing in the future. Because I think I have got a PayPal, but I have no idea how to use it, pretty much. Like, I know that I've got a PayPal account, but I don't know how PayPal works. In that regard, get a Blue Yeti as well. They work really well. Have a headphone spot, so you can plug in different headphones. Runs really clean as well. Says Cashman, and also welcome in, mate. Says Sebastian there on the chat as well. So perhaps I could look at upgrading to a new microphone at some stage. Ali Price once again passing it back. Sam Johnson uses the carry once again here for Scotland. He was told to release it there. Labaskakani and Finn Russell. Now they've got the advantage and they go back for the penalty. Patreon is a good shout as well. Says Cashman there in the chat. And also, what's cracking, Kiwi Lad fan? Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is a very exciting day for not just this game, but also for just rugby in general. We saw the two Bunnings NPC matches. Will you keep us updated on all the games that's taken place this morning? Says Aidan, I will indeed, mate. Every single one that we can, we will be trying to keep you guys informed. I was heartbroken for Fiji last weekend as well. See Sharpbrain, they played very well up against Wales, which is why this game up against Georgia, I think they are really going to come out swinging throughout that one. And what to do, Katie Idsev as well, and go says Hex there as well. But the kick for touchline once again from Scotland, 25 metres out now, and they will have themselves in another attacking opportunity. 32 minutes in, and Labaskakani at the moment, he is one of those players for Japan that needs to make sure he has a good game for the rest of the first half. Stuart Turner is going to be throwing. Stuart McAnally, it was actually last week, who did start, but he's going to be coming off the bench instead. Also, Jamie Batty starting at number 1 with Schoolman coming off the bench, and he played very well last week up against South Africa. Now, going to the back once again, taken nicely by Jamie Ritchie, wrestled down. But now Ali Price is a good attacking run. Finn Russell, nice inside ball to Darcy Graham. And that is going to be a little bit of obstruction. And now Japan will have the scrum feed. 13 players for a big part of the game. Fiji as well, says Mimania. Yeah, with the amount of players that they had out on the field, I believe they had, these are crazy numbers, they had 14 men out on the field for about 60 minutes of that game. And for 20 more minutes of that game, they had 13 men out on the field. Or of those 60 minutes, there was just a little bit forward, I believe. And that is why it was going back. Napiri also out Wales again last weekend as well, says Sharp Brain there. And also I mistyped. Kenya beat Brazil. Sorry, no sleep last night as well, says Mike. No worries, mate. And there will certainly be no sleep for myself tonight due to the fact that we have got just rugby from 2 a.m. This was when this game started. 2 a.m. New Zealand time. We're going right through to 11 a.m. New Zealand time. What makes fans so dangerous? They can speed up games so quickly as well, says Kevin. Exactly right. The top league plays at a frantic pace. And it is absolutely awesome to see it as well, with the international players scattered throughout there, but also the up-and-coming young Japanese talent that they are kind of having in that, because Japan is sitting in 10th at the moment, I believe, in the World Rugby rankings. But if they can put together some good performances, perhaps, they could work their way up a little bit further. But Scotland, if they get the win here, they may even be able to creep up just that little bit further due to the fact that, everyone at the moment in the top 10, no one's really safe in their position other than you would say maybe the Springboks, with the fact that they are about 2 ahead of everyone else. But if England win that game today, changes once again. That is going to be the free kick here for Japan. And once again, take the quick tap. And they are going to be going. It looks like their backline's looking crisp throughout the early stages. Big kicking behind there. And Stuart Hogg now taking this one 10 metres out from his line. Looks like he was going to be kicking it himself. Pass it across now. Duan van der Merwe going to be attacking. Oh, he's almost choke slammed the man when he did run there. Just running straight over the top of Nakano. Now Xander Ferguson goes back to Finn Russell. Cross kick. Opening up here for them. Taken beautifully by Sam Johnson. Scotland still have this ball. Little bit almost of a knock-on drag down there. And it's going to be a foot race between Xander Ferguson and Nakamura. And surprisingly, Ferguson won it. But now it is going to be the scrum feed, the line-out throw for Japan here. And also we have got the British Lions for a reason as well. And Italy is leading by only 5 points against Uruguay. And as a Silicon Kiwi, let me give you some advice, bro. Don't give up your day job at the funeral parlor as well. I'll tell you what, I don't have a day job. But if I did get one, I'll be sure not to give it up, mate. We have got their British Iron scoring for Scotland, I see as well. And also we have got their Fiji are great. And it's a transporter. Look, mate. Look mad as well, says Mimania. At this stage, they're just looking very sharp throughout the early stages. Japan, when they've got ball in hand. Scotland as well, though. Anytime like that little bit of space opens up, it's a perfect opportunity for both of these sides to try and lead to points. Michael Leach taking that one nicely. Labaskakani now fires it back just inside of the 22 here for Japan. Now it's going to be the wide cutout pass, draw and pass. Oh, Fafita not able to take it though, and it does go into touch. Scott's taking this one comfortably if we play like last week as well. And the chat says Victor. At 35 minutes in, Scotland still have themselves a 12 or 6-point lead, and I love watching Japan reading the Eddie Jones autobiography at the moment. His experiences with the Brave Blossoms are very interesting. What a guy, as I say, Thick Boy, and yeah, he will be hoping that he can help England get themselves a win over South Africa, which is coming up in a very short moment, and only an hour and 35 minutes time or so is when that game is going to be kicking off, and we will be covering it on the channel as well. Hey, I'm watching you from my PS4, but commenting on my photo as well, says James Gordon. So watching us twice, so thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated in that regard. And yeah, hopefully you are enjoying the commentary so far. Stuart Hogg here. He is going to be one of the keys for Scotland throughout this game. Scored 2 tries in that game last week up against South Africa, but they weren't able to quite get the win. This is a game that Scotland want to prove something, and that is to prove that they are definitely in form heading into that Six Nations competition in only a little while. We all got there. Good stuff, bro. You are pretty good at this. Really hoping to an All Blacks win as well, but I kind of took France to win by 22-15 as well. Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be very close to see how it does go. And also we have got there, you're wearing the right suit as well, and you're dead boring, bro, as well. Well, why are you still here? You've been here 20 minutes. I would have thought you'd leave by now, but now kick downfield from Stuart Hogg down to the halfway line. It's going to be taken nicely by Yamanaka now. Beautiful offload to the hands of Fafita, who is just always dangerous when he does have the ball in hand. It's a penalty to Scotland, though. I can see all of you guys in the chat as well. No way of Hamish work. We sadly lose out on the live stream as well. There's Kevin, and also I need a coffee. So bad, brother, as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, I don't know how many bosses would be happy with you doing live stream from 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then working the next day. It'd be relatively difficult. Finn Russell now kicking this one for the touchline, striking it nicely. And now it is going to be 40 metres out. And Scotland put up a massive score against Tonga as well. Says Shapebrand, they did indeed. Also, we have got there. What time are you looking at, Mr. Dixon? Says Thick Boy there. But yeah, Scotland, they had a very good game up against Tonga. Also, England played very well up against Tonga. Unfortunately for Tonga, they haven't had the best series, but they have got their game coming up against Romania. And Hamish, there are a few South Africans in the Scottish team. How many as well, says David Russell? I believe with South African heritage, I think there's about 3 or 4, if I'm not wrong. No real matchup. Scotland by 25-30 as well. Says Saturday, play a beautiful ball there to Chris Harris, currently sitting 45 metres out. It'll be Ali Price, fires it back. Finn Russell. Oh, he almost dropped that ball, but instead now putting the kick forward. That's a knock on as well. And now Scotland will have this 22 metres out, and it will be the scrum here. And I'm going to try wake up from noise for the ABs as well. Says it was James Gordon, but yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be a long night ahead of us with all the international rugby. Like these games, even if I wasn't live streaming, I would certainly still be watching every single one of them, including that game between Ireland and Argentina that's taken place on Monday morning at about 3 a.m. New Zealand time. We're still going to be up for that one as well. 56 start for Stuart Hogg here at fly half. For Finn Russell, I should say. But now off the back of the scrum, Josh Bayliss may decide to back himself. They have got Darcy Graham way out on the wing. He's got a ton of pace, and he might be able to use it. There's a South African and the Japanese team as well. And I assume that is Labaskakni, if I'm not wrong, Shark Brain. But now at this stage, Ali Price going to be feeding this ball into the scrum here for Scotland. Good push once again here for them. Looks like Bayliss waiting for it at the back. Does he take it? It's still sitting there in the scrum. They have been told to use it once, trying to get the advantage. It's not happening for them, though. Now it's Bayliss breaking off the back. Ali Price fires it back now to Stuart Hogg. It's Finn Russell. He's got Stuart Hogg with him. Darcy Graham, though, out on the wing, steps on the inside, puts it down, and Darcy Graham scores the try there for Scotland. And just like that, they have got themselves their 3rd try of the match now. Scotland, they are on fire in the early stages, and Darcy Graham is the man who was able to score it. We will add him to the try scorers list, which will keep on extending throughout this match by the looks of it. But just before halftime, they will be leading at halftime by at least a total of 11 points at this stage. They might have a 13-point lead if Finn Russell can nail it as well. We have got there. Scotland scored another try, Hamish, as well. See, they did indeed. And also we have got there. And I had a cup of tea, so glad spending time. Watch Hamish live stream, so it's worth it as well. And what's your score prediction for the games you're covering as well, says Cashman. I would say overall, I don't think there's going to be too many games that are split by a huge amount. I wouldn't believe. I think it is still going to be relatively close in a lot of them. I think Wales will be able to sneak that game up against Australia, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was an update So it is going to see how it goes in that one. But also also France versus New Zealand, I think will be close. And then South Africa, England could go either way as well. I'm here in Japan on business, and there is nowhere else to catch even a score, mate, which is why I'm forced to put up with you, Undertaker, as well. I'll take Undertaker. I mean, in WWE, very good career for that man. So who knows, maybe we will have a very good one in the future, which would annoy you very much, I would think. Have heard GTA San Andreas, definitive edition as well, says James Gordon. I think at this stage, I have got San Andreas downloaded on my Xbox, but I haven't played it yet. So hopefully it is a good game. I'm a GTA trilogy as well. And are you covering the ladies or not? As well, says Cashman. Unfortunately, there are a few games that do overlap. So I won't be able to cover the women's rugby, but we will be keeping you guys updated with the score on that one as well. And try Darcy Graham in the chat from Sebastian. And also we have got there in the chat, Ish Labaskachni as well, says Miminia. Yeah, that name doesn't quite roll off the tongue because I know that some part of that name, the way that I pronounce it, is almost a South African swear word. So I don't try and say it too often. And how long have you waited for Darcy to score a try as well, says Sebastian. It's been a little while, isn't it? But he has finally been able to get himself one. Half-time at the moment, 19 points to Scotland and 6 to Japan now. And at this stage, they have been able to start at a decent pace in this game. Scotland, Japan started well as well. I don't see the Japanese going to their 2019 form anytime soon. Scotland to dominate them comfortably today, says Victor as well. Do you think England will beat the Springboks, says Aiden? It's a tough one. I feel like the Springboks bench is definitely the stronger of the two, even though they have got Sam Simmons and also Alex Dombrandt for England. But they have got Nick Dolly, who is going to be on debut for that one as well. So it's going to be tough for them, that is for sure. But hopefully it is a close game, because I know that a lot of people want to see that one kind of go right down to the wire. But so far, Japan, 55% possession throughout the early stages, 90 tackles made from Scotland, and also 5 penalties against Japan compared to the 6 penalties against Scotland. And meters made almost double for Japan, which is an interesting stat there. Just 1 meter short of the 400, whereas Scotland are only sitting 213 meters made as well. The carries have had double as well for Japan, so that kind of makes sense in that regard. But it's going to be a very close one, I would say. In terms of the position in the second half, I think Japan will be able to hang on to the ball for just a little bit longer, perhaps. As long as they don't kick it away, they will try and keep on hitting it up, try and wear down Scotland, but that will be very tough to do indeed. We have got there at 7 a.m. here in the high desert, my friend, as well, says Katie Dixon there. And also England can never beat the box. With that front row box, we'll get penalties at will as well, says Sharpbrain. Yeah, definitely with the bomb squad that will be coming off the bench, you will be looking at just a phenomenal one. Last week, they all did their jobs perfectly for the game up against Scotland. Was in the end Malcolm Marks, Stephen Kitsoff, Vincent Koch, and those 3 names are just 3 that bring intimidation to whoever's going to be out there. Joe Marler recently returning, and he will be off the English bench for them as well. And San Andreas is a good game. It has Los Santos, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and also Sandy Shores is big, and you get to play as a family gang member as well, says it was James Gordon. Also, don't be so rude, Virgilio dude, as well, says Kevin. I can understand the frustration of not being able to find the game though, which normally does mean we get a lot of abuse on these live streams from people who do want to watch the game but can't find it anywhere. But it will be on the Autumn Nations YouTube channel after the game, so at least you'll be able to see some content rather than myself, also known as the Undertaker. I like that nickname though, and I feel like Undertaker, it will be an interesting job to experience, that is for sure. We're getting a hybrid car being shown at the moment, and that is certainly not killing the environment with its energy efficiency. But yeah, at this stage we are just waiting for the second half to get back underway. 3 tries so far in this match. Scotland able to get them all, and it was Duan van der Merwe, then it was Stuart Hogg, and then Darcy Graham able to score it as well. So 3 backs all being able to score it just back at our from our Saturday Fish and Chips, same as the score. A fair reflection on the first half. I think overall it is pretty close to it. Japan started well. They did have 1 misconversion, and also same with Scotland, but Scotland's backline, they have been making the most of their opportunities. So it is going to be very interesting to see whether or not they can bring up maybe that 40 points of the second half. Hogg is a national treasure, bro, as well as his whole Bitcoin. He certainly is. Everyone loves him. The Exeter Chiefs love him as well. I've got him on a stick, except I will apologize in advance because I tried to print him out, but my printer ran out of ink and my printer's broken. So pretty much he ended up as Zombie Hogg, but still does the job. I've got Ian Foster on that side. That man's not very popular at the moment. People would prefer to see Zombie Hogg than that man. That is for sure. Joe Marler crack up press conference, and Joe Marler is such a funny guy, mate. He is indeed. I saw he was eating soup in his press conference, if I'm not wrong. And that's black coffee in full time. As I love your dedication as well, says Thick Boy. And also we have got the England versus South Africa will be a really hard fought match, but with Eddie Jones at the helm, I think England should win Undertaker as well. Says Virgilio. I feel like that nickname's now going to stick, isn't it? Virgilio, more than likely. But so I think Eddie Jones, he did mention in his press conference, he said that he knows the weaknesses of the Springboks, which of course caused a few problems in the media, because anything to do with that match, people are really like going after. That is for sure. Hogg was biting Springboks players on the Lions tour as well. So Sharp Brain, he was just hungry, mate. You know, everyone gets a bit peckish when you're out on the rugby field. Definitely when you burn as many calories as these boys do. But yeah, I think that game, England versus South Africa, the best thing about it is only an hour and 25 minutes away. Like, as soon as we hit that hour and 25, my brain is just going to be in full overdrive mode. And then that's not the last game we've got. We've also got Wales versus Australia. Then it is going to be France versus the All Blacks. And I remember when me and my cousin were little kids and playing San Andreas on my uncle's Xbox, my nana growled at us, and my gramps backed us up and said that we were just driving as well. And does anyone ever say nom 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 anymore? Is that a 2008 thing? Nom nom nom. I don't think I've ever said nom 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 up until you have mentioned it now. Where did it come from? Is it like a meme? Because I know on Practical Jokers, I think they have said it before. I think Joe may have. I feel like I'm showing that I do watch a little bit of TV every once in a while, but not a huge amount. Only when I get a little bit of spare time from these live streams. But at this stage, they are just showing the other competitions that are starting up very soon. We've got the KFC Big Bash. Eddie Jones is way better coach than Ian Foster Undertaker as well, says Virgilio. I mean, I'd have to say that's probably a decent shout. And also, Nom 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 died off, as I says Mimania. But yeah, this man, I think the one thing is, him and Eddie Jones have one thing in common, I should say, and that is the fact that everyone seems to not want them to be coach. Like, even though Ian Foster, he did decently winning the rugby championship and also quite a few games, but because of the couple losses, everyone says he's gone. Eddie Jones at the moment, people are trying to find reasons to get rid of him as England coach. They both want, tell you what, other thing in common, everyone wants Scott Robertson to be the captain, the coach of the All Blacks or the coach of England. Seems to be that maybe these two men rather similar. We have got their CUs for the AB's game, maybe, and can Mara Itoje go 80 minutes with three of the best locks in the world? Says Shark Brain. It's going to be very tough for him. I know that him and Etzebeth, they've got unfinished business from the British and Irish Lions tour. They're both going to want to play that physical game. Mara Itoje probably playing a few more mind games than Eben Etzebeth, because Eben Etzebeth, he's going to be pure power and just absolutely throwing everything at Mara Itoje. He's going to have to be strategic, Itoje, because or else Etzebeth will just end up running into him up until he can't end up running anymore. So that is why it's going to be so important. Then we might need the Undertaker, Virgilio. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. Even when ABs win, we still don't want to miss coaches, says X there. And also, okay, time for more fuel for this rugby gauntlet, and it is South Africa's year as well. It says a ruthlessly relentless evolutionary as well. That is always a tough name to say, but we get there in the end for them. But looking at the benches quickly for these ones, and we will be showing all of the other lineups when we do get the chance to in the later stages of these other live streams. We're going to have a lot of them, including the bomb squad for South Africa. We have got there. Etzebeth will have point to prove as well, says Mike. And that's the thing. Last week, I felt Eben Etzebeth did pretty well up against Scotland. I don't think I've seen him have that many carries in a match in the last kind of maybe this year. To be honest, British and Irish Lions tour, he had a few, but he didn't have as many as he did up against Scotland. He just kept on being there, kept on throwing himself at the line. And that is something that will be absolute kryptonite for the English defence. Is if you keep on having Etzebeth at you, as much as it's nice to think that Etzebeth will eventually slow down, even when he's slowing down, he's still going to run at you hard. That man will throw people if he has to, just like we saw Duan Funamurva run straight over the top of Nakano there in the midfield. But it is that big factor of how long can both of these sides keep on hitting just at a frantic pace, because I feel like there will be a little bit of kicking throughout that game, but also it is going to be in that situation of both sides are just going to keep on going until they can't go anymore. And that is why I'm very excited for that game. England is all big talk. Springboks destroy England as well, says Gavin. And the best thing is we get to know the score in only, it will be 3 hours time. We will know who has won that game between England and the Springboks, and we will be straight on to our next game between Wales and Australia as well. It's a big day of rugby, but if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out the Rugby Down Under YouTube channel, where we do talk all things international rugby on the podcast. Will Rugby know how to get the box fired up, as well, says Mike. I assume that is a reference to Rassie Erasmus, the situation that they have got him at the moment, but it's one of those ones, the Springboks, they will be fired up. I've seen an interview where Sia Khaleesi said, we're doing this one for Rassie Erasmus, so we're going to go out there and we are going to be firing on all cylinders to try and get as big of a win as possible. They want to prove a point up against England, and it is going to be a perfect opportunity for them to be able to do so. But it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Tell you what, while we are at halftime in this game, we did show the benches. I will actually show you guys a couple of the lineups for that upcoming fixture. England, this is how they are sitting. They have actually gone with Manu Tuolangi in the midfield rather than Owen Farrell, who was there last week. Joe Marchand being added back into the side. I'm excited to see him up against Makazole Mapimpi, and then also Jamie Blamire, Bevan Rodd. Those two men, it's going to be tough for them. No Jamie George and also no Alice Genge in that front row. So that is going to be possibly where the Springboks really can assert some of their dominance. Then looking through at the Springboks, just a few changes that they have made themselves. Kobus Reinach going to be slotting in at number 9. And then also Andre Pollard returns to 10. So that is a new combo that we haven't seen in a little while. But Makazole Mapimpi has scored against every single international team that he's played against. I feel like this game may be no different for him as well. We haven't got there. No way Undertaker as Scott Robertson has 0 international coaching experience. It's a score, or if the score blows out into another flogging, then Robbie Deans and Scott Robertson should take over the Japanese as well, says Virgilio. And what time there, Hamish, as well, says Charles de Kock. At this stage, I am sitting 2:55 a.m. in the morning, so it's relatively late. That is true. We have got the Diaga. It will be the tallest person on the pitch in that game, 103 centimeters. I assume that is 203, if I'm not wrong, Sharp Brain. And also we have got there, and the nominations, I think, as well, says Mike. And also we have got there 1.3 meters as well, says Sharp Brain. And also in there we have got there. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the pin comment and join the Discord server as well. Yeah, if you guys do like talking international rugby or just rugby in general, amazing, says Charles de Kock. As yeah, we are still going. We did the Bunnings NBC final premiership match a little bit earlier on today at 7:05 New Zealand time. This game started at 2 a.m. We are going right through to 11 a.m. and we are not stopping talking till we get to the end of it. Japan have more running meters in that game as well, says Dwayne. They do indeed. 400 meters compared to the 220 of Scotland, New Zealand versus France. Says Code, that's going to be a pretty epic game that does take place in New Zealand. Will destroy France as well, says Kiwi Gamer there. And also we have got there, which of the games, which is the game of the weekend, England versus South Africa or France versus New Zealand? I know that that one is a very heavily debated one in terms of which game is the biggest, but I would say both of them have their own kind of respective factors that is going to be making them absolutely massive for each individual game. So I'm going to say for myself, due to the fact that it's a World Cup rematch of the final, the first match, and it's a little bit closer, I'm going to say that game. But then after that game's finished, it is certainly going to New Zealand versus France. Hard to believe England whipped New Zealand in the World Cup as well. See, Shark Brain played a good game of rugby. New Zealand, they struggled up against an English side that just dug deep and just kept on going in that one. And yeah, it is one of those ones you learn from your mistakes. And a World Rugby nominations is rigged. How do they not have Ardie Savia, Geordie Barrett, Eben Etzebeth, Lucanio Arm, and Sia Khaleesi in the best player of the season list as well, says Victor. I know that a lot of people actually wanted to see, maybe instead of doing it the way that they did, with just giving you 4 names, having a short list of like 20 names or something, and then letting people vote on those names, and then it becomes kind of like the 4 finalists type thing. Because I know that a lot of people, like, they missed out quite a few other big players, and I think a lot of people were annoyed that Samu Karevi was there, even though he has only played a few games in recent history. Wise Bowden Barrett not playing as well, says Kiwi Gamer. Unfortunately, failed his HIA last week and has got a concussion, so it does mean that he is not going to be able to play in this one, which means Richie Mo'unga slotting in at 10. And World Rugby need still ruled a bunch old farts. Geriatrics, as well, says Mimania. And also, what time's Fiji playing? They are playing at 4 a.m. and they are going to be up against Georgia. We will be keeping you guys updated for that match as well. Cough, cough, Wales or Australia as well, says Thick Boy. I think Wales will sneak it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Australia really fight. Richie Sucks at stepping up against big teams as well, says Hickson. How is Atoje better than Whitelock, Retallick, Etzebeth, and Diaga as well, says Shark Brain. And also in there, anything new on Waimati? Nah, nothing really changes here overall. I don't think it's changed in about the last 16 years that I've been here. And go live New Zealand versus France as well, says Code. I am indeed going to be doing the live commentary for that game. Robbie Deans is coaching the Panasonic Wild Knights in Japan's top league, and he's done really well. Scott Robertson, by being assistant coach to Robbie Deans, would finally give him the experience as well, says Virgilio. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you mentioned, he hasn't had a lot of international rugby, if any, for Scott Robertson, and it would be pretty cool to see him take that next step up, but I think he is pretty content at the moment at the Crusaders, being able to keep on building them up. But do let me know, Virgilio, who is winning the Japanese top league this year? Who are you saying? Is it the Panasonic Wild Knights with Robbie Deans as the coach? Do let me know. Hamish, what's your score prediction for South Africa versus England, says Gordon? I think it is going to be split by only around 5 points, and I'm going to say, that's a tough one. I think England are going to be leading, up until, like, not for the whole match, but at the stage of the bomb squad making their way out onto the field, England are going to have a couple points in their favour, and then South Africa are going to score a try and be able to edge it. Maybe. That's a very tough prediction, though, because that game could go either way. Watch times Fiji's game as well. It is going to be 4 a.m., so 1 hour's time is when that one has taken place, and we needed him for Ireland, didn't show up as well. CSX and 29 to England. CSX and his Quade Cooper back. He is not. He is still with his Japanese top league side. Same with Samu Karevi. So instead, it is going to be James O'Connor at 10, and then at number 12, they have gone with Hunter Paisami. Once again, it looks like it is going to be Scotland here kicking off. Stuart Hogg, you are not a legend, or you are not a player, you are a legend, is a sign that someone has got in the crowd as well. Fiji versus Georgian, as I said, Code, and that game's actually going to be on the World Rugby YouTube channel. So be sure to check that one out, guys, if you do want to check that one out during the next match that we are doing. The coffee is here as well, says Cody Dixon. And also, I would say 2 more Scottish tries and a Japan try in the second half, says Sebastian there as well in front. Stein will kick the winning 60-metre penalty for the Boks today. Tell you what, he's done it before, and he can certainly do it again. He does get the chance now inside of their own 22 at the moment here. Going to be the Salah dummy from Matsuda going through the gap. Dragged down, though, nicely. 30 out now for Scotland. And also, we have got the in the chat from Hexon. If South Africa loses and New Zealand wins, does that mean they are back, or they will get their world ranking back? I don't believe so, unless it is like a very, very huge win in terms of... Yeah, I believe that England would have to win by 16 and New Zealand would have to win by 16 over France, and then maybe they get closer. But I think South Africa still sneak it at the very end, just a little bit high there from Grant Gilchrist, which is what they have blown the penalty for. No, the Bowden Barrett-led Suntory Goliath won this year's Japanese top league against the Panasonic Wild Knights as well, says Virgilio. Tell you what, I struggle with that name a little bit. I do apologise in that regard. But yeah, Bowden Barrett certainly tore it up in the top league. Other Kiwis that are going over there this year, Damien McKenzie, Ash Dixon. Also, they will be having, who else have they got going over there? There's so many names. Lachlan Boshier, another player. Steve Smith is here in the chat as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. We have got there Alba, Scotia, Caledonia as well. Come on, the Bonnie Scotland win big. 50+ second half blow up, I'm hoping for. And also need a Kiwi Lads mug, Hamish. It'll be perfect for these late night matches to go with my coffee as well. So perhaps we do need to get that and get that going in some regards. Maybe a coffee mug. I want to get one of those ones that it is going to be kind of changing color. That was almost a sentence, but you know how you like get the ones how like when you have hot liquid in it, it changes into like the Kiwi Lads logo would be pretty cool, or a George crying emoji. Perhaps, and now it's going to be Japan driving forward only 10 meters out here at the moment for them. And now Japan trying to get the draw and pass going. Lavaskakni now with the carry. Oh, it's dropped there. And it was actually Moore who dropped it, but it is going back for the penalty. And it is a double blow of the whistle. Oh, there's a yellow card coming for Scotland here. And whatever Steve just said, as I said, and tomato cheeks as well there. And also Olive, that scared me. Steve says Sebastian and Smithy dollar signs. And there, but Jamie Batty, the number 1 for Scotland, going to be heading to the bin here, which is certainly not what he would have been after. But yeah, unfortunately for him, just ended up on the wrong side of the breakdown, couldn't roll away. And because of that, he did end up trying to slow that one down just a little bit longer than he should have. And that is why it is going to become the yellow card. So now Japan having the man advantage for the later stages of the second half. But Jamie Butty was starting this one. Need that merch, brother, as well, says Steve Smith with the Kiwi as well in the chat. And also, honestly, I have a feeling England will edge it and get revenge from the World Cup final in Scotland in the house. All right, Steve, as well, said Thick Boy. And, well, maybe Scotland will lose this game. No, I think they are still certainly solid. And also, we have got there, haven't seen you sipping on anything, mate, as well, says Victor. It is an interesting situation. I have never actually consumed a liquid on live stream, which sounds weird, but I have had food before in the past, like way back when it was Fiji versus Georgia of the Autumn Nations. But other than that, never had a drink of water on the live stream. I always have it in between the live streams. They have been able to convert that one for the 3 points, and now Japan are going to be sitting on the 9 points to the 19 of Scotland. Hope the Africans can build their blood on the field today as well, says Gordon. Also, hey, how good has Stuart Hogg been this year? Phenomenal, mate. He's just a talent and a half, not just for Exeter Chiefs, but also at international level for Scotland. In the last 2 matches, he scored 3 tries. Very good player. And we have got there in the chat, and yeah, agreed. England winning today as well, says Sebastian there. Now it's going to be Matsushima, pass it back across field. And Japan at this stage, if they can score themselves a try before the end of this first half, perhaps they can, before the end of this yellow card, perhaps they can get themselves just a little bit closer to being able to get back into this match. It is once again going to be James Moore, tackled hard by Fagerson. Trying to counter-ruck, has fallen the wrong way there. Fire back into the pocket, and it will be Yamanaka now looking for the touchline. Good take there from Darcy Graham. Now just inside of his own half, going to be attacking the line, trying to go straight through. Great low tackle on him, though. In the end, it was the number 23. So he's actually already made his way out onto the field. I'm not too sure who is replaced it. Also, Red is good around here, not scary as well, says Steve Smith. And certainly, tell you what, I'll be honest, the first time that you did it after the channel got remonetized or kind of had the copyright strike removed, it may have made me jump a little bit because it's such a bright, on a white screen. As soon as you see a bright red, you think of red as danger, but this is certainly not danger. This is absolutely incredible. Bowden Barrett scored a cool 1.5 million New Zealand dollars. The Japanese aren't short of money. Robbie Deans isn't over there for peanuts. Nor is Steve Hansen as well, says Virgilio. Yeah, that's the thing. Plenty of money in the Japanese top league, which is why it's great to see Ash Dixon as a player who's spent so long in New Zealand rugby. He's getting a big payday, which is pretty awesome to see for him. That's a lot of pressure there from George Turner, but Japan still hanging on to this ball, just not giving it up yet. Draw on pass. Once again, opening up, good run there from it was the number 4. Cornelson now breaking through. It is going to be Craig Miller just outside of the 22 once again here for Japan. And they are going to be going for the draw and pass, kicking behind there. Matsushima sits up for him. 1 meter short of the line here. The one fun to move. Oh, he tried to offload it, but they're going back for the penalty. That was not the time for the offload. And what is that? Says 20, and also Finn Russell versus Owen Farrell. Who you're picking? Says, aka just a dog. Oh, I'm going to say Finn Russell for the unpredictability side of it, but then if you had 12 with Owen Farrell as well, if you weren't going for someone with the crash ball ability like a Tuolangi or something along those lines, I feel like that would be an interesting combo to see how it does go. Italy will probably lose to Uruguay as well. See Sharpbrain there, and how is that not score as well? He's 20 in the end. It was a great kick in behind from Matsuda, and then from there, just a meter short of the line for Matsushima. Tries to find the offload and just didn't quite find the hands there. And Japan did quite good in the Rugby World Cup 2019 since Kiwi came out. I believe, who are they in with in this World Cup? I believe they're going to be with Ireland, maybe. If I'm not wrong, but there are a couple good sides in their group, but they could cause an upset. The Sava versus Japan versus Scotland game is exciting as well, says Mimania. Yeah, at this stage, there are certainly a lot of talented players out there on the field for both of these sides. Japan, they are still only 10 points behind, and it looks like they are taking on the three-pointer once again here. Matsuda sitting on 3 from 4, 21 meters out. Scott Robertson would earn mega dollars as an assistant coach to Robbie Deans, taking over the Japanese team, and I feel like that Japanese team would be very solid as well. Yeah, who knows? Maybe in a couple years' time, because I know that he's locked in his contract at the Crusaders for a little bit longer, but after that, I mean, the world is his oyster, and that one has gone over there once again. So now the score is going to be 12 points to Japan and 19 to Scotland. Say Ireland. I always say it with the R. I always get it slightly wrong, so I do apologize. But Rolly. Yeah, now I can't say it because I feel like I'm saying it very wrong. Ireland. Is that all right? Oh, we got there. Stan always tells me the wrong times. When is the All Blacks kickoff as well? It is going to be 9 a.m. New Zealand time, so I assume that would be 7 a.m. Kickoff in Australia for you guys. And well, I got to admit, I was hoping this game is going to be more like the Japan-Ireland game from back in July. That was a neck-and-neck game, and so excited not that this one isn't as well, says Katie Dixon. And is Japan worthy of its place at this level as well, says Darren Smith? I'd say so. The one thing that Japan will want to keep on working on is consistency, because they either have just an incredible game or they have that game that they had up against Ireland where they did struggle a little bit. But if they can find that consistency with the side, like their backline's phenomenal for Japan, and if those forwards can keep on being physical, like I would say that they have got a decent chance of being able to stay where they are. If not, keep on improving. Like the last time these two sides played, or the biggest ever win for Scotland, up against Japan was 104 points to hardly any, and that was in 2004. They've come a long way since 2004, so hopefully they keep on going. Japan is still tier 2, but upper class tier 2 as well, says Jan Muck. And also we have got the fans are helping the image, aren't they? Or are not helping the image, says Sebastian there. Now, at this stage, there's going to be a knock-on advantage, and it is going to be the scrum there for Scotland. The old farts at World Rugby are literally child-minded as well, says Mimania. And also we have got their World Rugby uploaded a 2015 game where Japan beat the Box. There's definitely a conspiracy against the Box as well, says Sharpbrain. When did they upload that one? Sharpbrain, was that very recently or was it kind of a little while ago? And at this stage, 48 minutes through this game. If the Japanese cop another belting from Scotland, then Jamie Joseph and Tony Brown might get the boot as well, says Virgilio. It's a tough one because the first thing I think when there is like a rough result, okay, Hamish Watson making his way off the field, Schoolman making his way out there. I was confused for a second, but then I realized that it's because of the yellow card. So they did have to bring on another prop there with, it was Jamie Batty, who was going to be off the field for another 5 minutes or so. We have got there, where is Bill McLaren? As well, says Marlon, I'm not too sure who that is. I apologize. Does he wear a suit? I hope I haven't got someone wrong there, but pretty much at this stage, we've got a very exciting game of rugby. I wouldn't call it a conspiracy, just jealousy. They uploaded it yesterday. Okay, so interesting timing for World Rugby, I guess you could say there. Now the scrum just inside of their own half, 45 metres out here, Scotland, 7-point lead. Man disadvantage here as well. They are down to 14 with Schoolman making his way out onto the field, replacing Hamish Watson, who is a very talented player. He scored a try in that game up against, I want to say it was up against Australia, but I could be wrong there. Darcy Graham is a beast when he's on form. Could easily get 3 tries in a game. Such an exciting player to watch here. Certainly talented. And the Six Nations coming up, I hope to see him out on the wing quite often, because I feel him at one wing with just the pure pace and the skill that he has got, Duan van der Merwe out on the other wing, pace and power, that is a good combo to be able to have, because I know that they've got a couple other options for that right-hand side, but I do like to see Darcy Graham out there with Stuart Hogg at fullback and then Finn Russell as well. Like, this backline for Scotland, it's very strong. And if they can get it going, if they can get it firing in the Six Nations, they have a chance of being able to finish right up there. Is there any website where I can watch the match as well, says Santiago? Unfortunately, I don't believe there is anywhere showing this game for free. But if you do want to check out it is the Autumn Nation Series YouTube channel, Santiago, they will have the highlights of this game a little bit after the game has finished, and you will be able to see all the highlights from this weekend's rugby and also last weekend's, if you don't want to see a little bit more of that. But yeah, that is pretty much the only option for highlights or anything along those lines. Wallabies as well, says Rolly there. And also we have got there, it's Scott Africa versus Japan as well, says Marlon, and creates the Hoggy for being Scotland's all-time leading try scorer. That man, the legend as well. The man, the legend. It is one of those ones. It's interesting you say that, because there was actually a sign in the crowd that said, Stuart Hogg, you're not a rugby player, you're a legend. And it was a young child holding that one, but he has certainly done a lot for Scottish rugby in the past. Darcy Graham there, just a little bit too much on it. And they are going to be going back for the knock-on, though, for Scotland. Amazon Prime plus Exit Lag or other premium VPN as well. And we the South, says Dwayne there, and sup everyone. Well, nice looking scoreline as well, says Great to Sacred Cow. Yeah, at the moment, very close game between these two sides. Scotland still have a man disadvantage from the yellow card of Jamie Batty, but anytime there is a backline movement in this game, both sides really just keep on making the meters. Fiji versus Georgia score prediction as well. I think Fiji will win that one, but I'm not sure how much by, because Georgia are a side that are very hard to predict sometimes. Like, they scored 2 tries up against France, which a lot of people would consider a win in that regard of just being able to get themselves a decent amount there. International coaching is all about results. The 60-5 thrashing they got from Ireland negates all their 2019 World Cup success as well, says Virgilio. And that is, yeah, it's pretty rough. The fact that one game can kind of shape a coach's career. And also Japan, like, they had a close game up against Portugal, but if they were able to somehow win this game, I feel like the momentum would go back in their favor in terms of being happy with the coaches. Fiji 28, Georgia 21, very, very decent shout there in Japan as well. It says Miminia, and also I believe a Japan player is the top world try scorer as well, says Rubes Black there. Oh, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I believe someone in the chat will be able to help us out there. But something else, one of the stats that I do know about Japan's try scoring list is the fact that they hadn't scored a first half try up against Australia. And then in that game, when they played the Wallabies recently, they were able to smash that one out of the park, mate. You're going to be knackered after all these games as well, says Great the Sacred Cow. I certainly will be. This is the first of 4 international games back to back. We are going to be covering every single one of them. It's gone down there in the scrum, but 22 metres out now. A little offload back to Finn Russell now. Chris Harris running it sideways, trying to pierce the gap. Attacking line here from Chris Harris up to the 22. Price fires it back now. Gilchrist gives it off to Schoolman. Is going to get another carry or big contact there on Scott Cummings. It's another advantage, though, now in the favour of Scotland. Now, Japan will have to be careful not to end up with a man in the bin at a very short moment. Price looking to the right-hand side now. A lot of pressure there on Graham. Trying to step out. Oh, sorry, it's actually Sam Johnson. Did have that carry. Price once again now looking off to the left-hand side. It is going to be Finn Russell. Passing away now out to Stuart. Oh, backs his pace. Drawing pass out to Darcy Graham. Stepping back on the inside, but he's going to be dragged down once again by the Japanese defense, and they're going back for the penalty, not with Red Bull by your side as well, mate. Also, we have got there. I've been watching a lot of Edinburgh this season. They've got an awesome scrum half coming through, Ben Velicott as well. Future line, in my opinion, as well. And yeah, it's the thing. A lot of these young players, like, that's why I absolutely love watching, like, one of those situations of, like, all of these young players making their way up through the rankings. Even watching the under-20s Six Nations is just awesome to see who is going to be the bright future talents. Can Scotland score another try? I think they can, definitely, when they've decided to kick it for the corner here. 5 meters out. And it is going to be the line out we have. It's got there. Japan is bringing the pain train as well. Says Katie Dixon. One game. A lost Undertaker. 60 points to 5 is a massive, a major embarrassment. The Japanese are trying to build up interest as well. Says it was Virgilio. Yeah, I guess as long as they don't get dominated in this game, which I would say at this stage they haven't, but a lot of people will look at that one result as like a terrible day for Japan. But from there, it's how you kind of fight back as well. And they seem like they're doing all right in this game so far. They've come to play up against Scotland. That one is going to be thrown in. Looked relatively straight, so they have allowed it. And now it's going to be the rolling ball once again here. Stuart Turner sitting at the back, or actually it's the replacement. Number 16 gets over the line. And it's the try for Scotland now. And Stuart McAnally, he's only been on the field for about 20 seconds or so, I would say, but he has already scored one. And that is going to be the 4th try of the match now for Scotland. We will add that one to the try scorers list. Stuart McAnally is the man who was able to score it 54 minutes into this game as well. There we go. It's another name to the try scorers list, which could end up getting just a little bit longer as we keep on going. But Stuart McAnally is the man who was able to score it there for Scotland. And also 60 points is a major embarrassment for the Japanese, says Virgilio. And also we have got their Matsushima, says Mimania. Yeah, Matsushima, very talented player indeed. And will Australia go home without a win, says Shark Brain. I feel like Wales would like to stop them from being able to get one, but the Wallabies, they've got a couple of returns into their side. They've got Taniela Tupou coming back in, Alan Alatoa. They played a loose head prop on the tight head prop side for their last match. So I feel like that probably affected them a little bit in terms of the momentum that they were trying to create up against England. But it's going to be interesting. Oh. Okay, I believe at this stage they are saying that it is still going to be a try. For a second, it sounded like they were going to say no. And it was Daisuke Ohata Guamp. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. With 69 tries, followed by Habana 67, as well as there's Rubes Black there. But Finn Russell now 35 meters out here, 2 from 3 so far tonight. So hopefully we'll be able to get himself another one here. Currently a 12-point lead here for Scotland, and that one has gone straight over from Stuart Hogg. Close to the post, though, on the right-hand side. But now at this stage, the score is going to be 26 points to Scotland and 12 to Japan. Matt Phillips and Darcy Swain should have been in the lock department as well. Says Dwayne, yeah, they have been sticking with Rory Arnold and also Isaac Rodder. I would have liked to see Will Skelton get himself an opportunity as well as another lock, and that they could be trying out at this stage. But yeah, at this stage, getting closer and closer to that game between the Springboks and also South Africa, or sorry, Springboks and also England. But we will be covering that game on the channel. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated. And we will be covering that fixture straight after this one. It's going to be a kick high from Ali Price now. Trying to line it up, taken nicely on the halfway line, though, by Yamanaka, getting driven backwards, puts the ball down now, kick back onto the side of Hamish Watson. Back to the full 15 now for Scotland. Finn Russell looking for the kick, and behind it, he does find plenty of space. Stuart Hogg chasing hard, looking for the 50-22. It's close to the touchline, and just kicks that ball downfield there. For Japan, no option but to just put it straight into touch. Shane Bowden Barrett is out. Hamish, at least you've got Moonga, one mullet to find them, one mullet to rule them all as well. Says Steve Smith. Yeah, that's the thing. The mullets are starting to run a little bit light, I guess you could say, for the All Blacks. But they have got David Arvili. He's going to be coming off the bench. Another mullet man who started well for them. But yeah, Moonga. A lot of people have said that this is the game that he really needs to have, like, as his step-up game. And are you and Rugby Guru going to do more videos, mate, as well, CJ? And if that is something you guys are keen to see, we will certainly be looking at it, because we actually did a couple videos about a year ago or so for Rugby Challenge 4. And now let's say Stuart Price, 10 meters out at the moment here for Scotland. Hamish Watson, I'm looking around for him. He did have to go off the field a little bit earlier on due to the fact that there was that yellow card for Jamie Butty. And he has stayed off the field, Jamie Butty. They decided instead to leave Schoolman out there. Ali Price once again now in the ball up. Hamish Watson hit hard, and that's a knock on there. And what was some very solid contact. And Steve Barrett brings more of a structure game than Richie as well, says Rubes. And also we've got the man and the wife trying to guess how many yawns you'll make from now until the end of the France-New Zealand game. I feel like anything more than double figures, you're probably in for the money. And there we go. Be sure to like this and subscribe. Lovely stuff in the pinned comment. Much appreciated as well. Says Sebastian, he said it correctly. He said it correctly. That's not quite you said it best, I think I was trying to say. But Richie is a deadlier kicker as well, says Mimania. But yeah, anyone who is new, be sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe. Still available for Japan. 25 meters out from their own line here. Tamura here. Passing it back across. Michael Leach almost contesting there. It's a penalty to Japan. Up against, I believe, Scorman just lost his footing is what I was trying to say. And yes, as well, says it Kiwi game in there as Bowden Barrett concussed. He is, unfortunately. So it does mean that he is going to be missing. So they've got Damian McKenzie as their fly half cover in the number 22 jersey for this game. How many minutes left, says Johan as well. At this stage, we are sitting 58.5 minutes into this game. So we've still got 22. Deciding to take the quick tap there for Matsuda. And now Japan once again going to be trying to drive their way forward. Oh, on the outside there, he is not a happy man. Matsushima, definitely not when they do end up with the penalty going against Japan. But he is yelling at the big forwards there. Kazuki Amino taking the contact rather than passing it. And it's rare for a Barrett to be injured as well, says Mimania. That's the thing. At this stage, it's last Barrett standing, and they have only got one left. They've already lost Scott. He's gone back to New Zealand. They've lost Bowden Barrett now, and that is because of his concussion. So now Geordie Barrett, if he makes it through this game, he will be the winning Barrett who has been able to last the full tour. Although saying that, he did get a red card up against one of the teams in the Rugby Championship, and Sam Cane is not captain anymore. As I see Sharpbrain there, and it's only concussion, so he's basically all good now. As well, says Dwayne, and also we have got their must-have hammered them as well, or Ireland. Yeah, my pronunciation is still not the best. And also, I hope he gets well soon. That's rough, poor guy. As well, says Katie Dixon, and Sam Cane is not captain anymore. Yeah, instead it is going to be Sam Whitelock. Once again out on the field for about his 140th game now. He's getting close to for Sam Whitelock going to the front of the rolling maul here for Scotland. And once again, going to be trying to heave this one forward. It's gone down. And now Scorman looking like he wanted it instead. They are going to be going forward with McAnally. Still advantage for Scotland. They keep on getting advantages here. So Japan, they could end up with a man advantage or disadvantage, I should say. I can't speak anymore. I'm too excited for the games that are coming up. And also this one for the finishing that we might be able to see here. Hamish Watson, once again carrying himself forward. Ali Price, passing back to McAnally. Finn Russell now drawing past there. Quick hands. Oh, it's gone through the hands. So Darcy Graham, bit of a fumble, and they're going back for the penalty. They rest him Barrett, fresh for the Blues as well, says Rubes there. And also we have got there, at least we have him for the Blues. And also Scott's out to avenge the Rugby World Cup 2019. Lost Chris Harris here. Very close to the line, and they decided to take the quick tap. Scorman now, once again, hitting the ball up 5 meters out at the moment. Ali Price off into the hands of number 4. Scott Cummins knocks it on. And Whitelock is trying to take the record off Alan Jones. Hit that 150 appearances as well. And bet the Barretts are drinking with their Taranaki mates, celebrating the championship as well. Yeah, they were able to win it over Otago. 32 points to 19 in the end, but the ball just went down for Scott Cummings, just not quite able to hang on to it. Sexton being injured is no surprise, though. He's out. He's out again. Yet again, how long is he out for this time, Steve? Do let me know. But unfortunately for him, it seems to be more time than not. He has been injured recently, which is going to be pretty rough on him. And definitely for, I believe they'll put Joey Carberry or Byrne maybe at their 10 for the game up against Argentina. And Katie, you know that's embarrassing. As I says Mimania, for Cradles Bowden Barrett gently puts puffy stickers all over his face to help him feel better. As says Katie Dixon, I remember puffy stickers from primary school. Everyone seemed to have them. SpongeBob ones, food ones, they were involved as well. But yeah, I think they were just the primary school one that did kind of go around. Everyone would trade them in the library, I believe, at lunchtimes. Is that normal? I don't know. We have got there. Will the ABs be absolutely devastated should they lose against France as well, says Darren Smith. I know that the New Zealand media and the public would not be happy, but like they cannot underestimate France. They are a solid side, and they will certainly bring their A game into this last game. Dupont versus Smith is a battle that I'm looking forward to. Also, I would say in the 4-pack, maybe the likes of Sam Cane versus Anthony Geelong might be a very good one to watch as well. Now, Japan only a few meters out from their line, kicks it back downfield, 60 meters out, and Stuart Hogg is going to be taking this one, found himself a little bit of space as well. Back in the step, passes on the outside to Graham, drawing pass, forward pass into the hands of it was the number 8. And now it is going back for the scrum as well. Well, Italy is so pathetic this year. Uruguay just scored against them as well. Says Sharpbrain there. And also we've got actually Katie Dixon. I'm originally from Taranaki, played Bowden Barrett and club rugby as well. So that is a fun fact indeed, Cashman. But at this stage, Darcy Graham looks like he might have a little bit of an injury here for himself. Not looking too happy. Definitely, we do not want to see him out because he is a talented player and we want to see him in the Six Nations. And if he can do that, would be pretty awesome. I am just going to get you guys all of the scores for every other game of rugby that we have got ourselves at the moment, because there are plenty of them. The game between Fiji and Georgia will be kicking off in only around 45 minutes' time. The game for England versus South Africa, that is 50 minutes away from taking place, and I'm getting more and more hyped every time I think about that one. Uruguay got some Safa DNA as well, says Mimania there in the chat. But now it looks like Darcy Graham, his night is going to be over, and they are making a few more changes. It will be now Jarvan Sebastian making his way out onto the field, and also Blair Kinghornflower of Scotland in the chat from Guana Apollo as well. At this stage, they're playing decently. 14 points difference between these two sides at this stage of the match. And thing is, Scotland, they have got the ability to score a few more in the later stages. That's awesome, brother. He seems like a cool guy, and I bet you're just as good at rugby as Bowden Barrett is. 10 out of 10, says Katie Dixon there. So all the other matches that are taking place at international level at this stage, they are going to be as follows. Russia they lost to Chile 30 points to 29. Very close game in that regard. Then the game, Italy versus Uruguay, 64 minutes down, is currently sitting 17 points to 10 in favor of Italy. So not really a runaway game for them in that regard, and I could only dream of us being half as good as him as well, says it was Cashman, and also Bowden Barrett, my favorite player ever to wear the black. And that's a brilliant kick there from Japan. Is that a 50-22? Not quite. Now 5 meters out, and it is going to be Scotland who have got the good opportunity, but it was a great kick in behind from Japan. Able to find the touchline, only a few meters out from the line as well there. But 63 minutes into this game, Italy used to be better than this, but now they are so useless as well, says Chuck Brown, although they did very decently up against the All Blacks, I thought, overall, with the way that they did play. But Japan, they have, at this stage, got Scotland under a lot of pressure. They are only a few meters out from the line, and it is actually that 50-22, which means Japan now have the line-out throw. Going to be taken nicely, or is it? Oh, it's well done from Japan to hang on to it, breaking through, and it's the try there for, in the end, it was Tatavu, who was able to score it there. And we are going to add that one to Vita Tatavu. He's only been out there for about 5 seconds, I'd say. He hasn't been out there very long at all, but he has just been able to score the first try of the match for Japan. And now 64 minutes into this one, and Japan now score themselves another try to get them right back into this game. So Autumn, or so far, which team will be boosted by their Autumn Nations international performance, says Darren. I would say for me personally, Ireland are just one of those teams that have well and truly gone from strength to strength in this kind of competition. Like, they beat the All Blacks. They had a brilliant win over Japan. They have got their game up against Argentina, where if they don't take their foot off the gas there, they will be able to finish this one with a very, very strong series. That is for sure. Italy eats too much meatballs and pasta to be serious at rugby as well, says Gregory, and also heading for an embarrassment win for the Scots as well, says Mimania. Not anymore. And also, isn't this Japan's second try as well, says Shark Brain. Tis their first. They have had themselves 4 penalties so far throughout the early stages. Ireland, a standout team of the Autumn Nations internationals for me as well, says Thickboy. They are indeed. They are going upstairs here, so this might not be a try here. They are saying that it is a knock on, are they? Maybe this is going to be no try. No, that's not what I want to hear as well, says Steve Smith. Right. What happens here? Are they going to say that this is a no try? I know that it did hit the hands. Uh-oh. That is the first you'll make who had that bet with their wife. So he lost control of the ball here, Cornelison, but it's whether or not it did go forward or backwards. His hand was still on the ball the whole time, so they are going to say that this is a try. I believe it will be anyway for Jack Cornelison. He was able to hang on to it through the whole time. There was no separation. So because of that, Japan will be sitting themselves on 17 points here, and Tatafu was able to score. Chile should be World Rugby Team of the Year. Been incredible what they have done all year as well, says Gregory Grant. Yeah, they were able to get that win over Russia, 30 points to 29, extremely close, and Flash Score has awarded the try, says Sharkbrain. They have indeed. So I assume we are sticking with it. Clearly no knock on. Going to stay as the on-field decision. On-field decision is try, and that is what it is going to be as well. The first of many yawns. There's already another one kicking in. Should we have a yawn counter for the day? I'm here, says Aiden as well. Welcome into the live stream. How many yawns do you think, Steve, will be throughout this one. How many do I have to try and keep it below? Probably less than a 2 at this stage would be nice, but I feel like it's going to be going IR. Also, Japan might nick it as well, says Aiden. And yeah, this stage, very important kick here for the man in the number 10 jersey for the Matsuda. He has only missed the one so far. So if he can get this one over, they will be only the 7 points behind. Make a coffee as well, says Reeves. And also, I've counted 2 yawns, mate, as well, says Sharpbrain. I have as well. This stage. Only 2, though. 2 is decent. And Amish, take a slug of some weird Red Bull, mate, as well. And at 11 a.m., about 100, says Aiden there. But at this stage, Matsuda lining up yawns as well. And Oisold in the chat and drinking Milo. He's missed it. He's missed it. He's missed it. Did not strike that one very well. And run down to the local servo. Stuck up on Red Bulls as well, says Jan. And also, what do you want to see in the next rugby game as well, says Cashman. I assume, are we talking the next rugby game is in England versus South Africa, or the next rugby game is in like Xbox or PlayStation type thing? Cashman, do let me know. And also, we have got the contagious yawning, and also Milo will make you sleep as well, says Mimania. Oh. All this talk of sleep, eh? Now, this stage, Japan got this ball 10 meters out from their line. A little bit of a counter ruck there from Matt Ferguson, but just not quite able to get onto it. Japan, they do only have the difference in points of 9. If they can get themselves another try extremely soon with 14 minutes left, they have a decent chance. And BC as well, says Cashman. I would say as long as the gameplay is good, like that is the main thing. Like we need a game that has good gameplay, and then the graphics will kind of come after as well. Like the Mexican wave of yawns going around the world, and hashtag contagious yawning. And also, that's now 3. So that also put up a yawn counter, please, mate, as well, says Sharp Brain. And also, Hamish will put us all under a spell with his wizard yawns, says Katie Dixon. And tell you what, we'll go like this. One moment. There we go. We've added it down the bottom as well. It's still going to be a rolling maul here for Scotland. Horn got the ball at the back of that one. We got the yawn cannon down there. We're up to 3 at this stage. And I want to see a proper career mode going through a story. That would be pretty awesome. Similar to what they have for FIFA. That's going to be a good run there from Duan Funamurva. Decides against the offload. And now Horn firing it back. Once again, Matt Ferguson falling into the tackle. But Darcy Graham, his night is over due to that little bit of an injury, but he was probably coming off the field soon anyway. Now a bit of space opening up on the outside here. Bayliss cuts back. And now 30 meters out here for Scotland. George Horn firing it back once again using the big forwards. It is going to be Sebastian there. And oops, sorry, Kiwi came out. I'm thinking of Horlicks as well. And also we've got the Hamish just to change his name to Yornish as well. And Yawn counter on the screen, Hamish. And now what time is it in New Zealand, says Victor? At this stage, we are sitting 3:32 a.m. Yeah, and also we have got the I want to see a proper career mode in this game, causing lots of yawns. Says Sebastian there, but now it's a little chip and chase there from Japan. This is exciting stuff. Oh, it didn't sit up for him though. And now Horn, oh, that was high. Was it high? It's still going to be an advantage here for Scotland. I thought that tackle was a little bit high from the Japanese player. Still going to be at the back of that one unlucky bounce as well. 3:31 a.m. here, Victor, says Cashman as well. Now Finn Russell passes it out the back line. Stuart Hogg got the draw and pass now. Cut him back nicely and still on the side of Scotland. 12 minutes left in this game as well. Sheesh, what? Where are you, Cashman, as well? Says Thick Boy, and also I'm pretty sure that's all. It's already 5 yawns. I saw you earlier. Yawning earlier as well, mate, says Sharp Brain. We will go from here, though. We will see how it goes. Taken nicely by Matsushima. Passing it back across field, trying to get the quick feet going there. It was Matsuda. He's going to be wrestled down to the ground once again. And that is one thing that Scotland have done very well throughout this match, is they have been able to shut down that Japanese attack. And when there is a mistake, Scotland will be pouncing on it now, firing it out wide into the hands of Tatafu, the try scorer. Trying to break through, and he has done so. Ball on the inside to Fafita. It's a draw and pass here. And now at this stage, it is going to be an awkward fall there for the number 9 for Japan. But they have still got this ball. A little bit of a counter ruck coming from Scotland, still on the side of the Japanese. I don't know why I'm yawning. I only woke up a little while ago. I do survival go as also Skashman, and also yawn rhymes with lawn as well. Making service. And that's quite late. And it is currently 4:33 in South Africa, says Victor. Still going to be on the side of Japan here. Just having a chat with the TMO, trying to work out whether or not there is a penalty coming up. It is going to be now the referee, Brendan Pickerel, almost tripping over one of the Japanese players. Still going forward here. And they have not given up yet. They want to get themselves one more in this game. Once again, firing the ball back. Beautiful short pass to Kazuki Himeno. Straight on the ball, though, for Scotland. No, still on the side of Japan. They're up to 8 phases, the most phases they have had since the opening play of the match. And the problem with the having American mates who play the game as well, says Cashman. And you can hear there the crowd are chanting Scotland. Will they? Oh, it's another advantage against Scotland, though. Still Japan making their way forward. Loose ball sitting up now, and that is going to be somehow kept on their side, and they are going back for the penalty. And that's a double yawn, mate. That counts as 2 yawns as well, says Sharp. And also, yeah, there's 5 yawns as well. And also be careful what you ask for, says Mike in the chat as well. And I need lawn mowing service on a shirt, like my lungs need air as well. Yeah, maybe we put it on a cup as well, maybe. So that counts as 2 yawns, does it? We'll go up to 5. But now, I feel like if we have less than 100 for the night, we're doing pretty well. I've got a shock pen in front of me, and I don't want to use it, but I was going to have it as some sort of forfeit for the All Blacks France game, but I might leave it just there for now because I don't like the feeling of getting shocked. That is for sure. But now making his way out onto the field, Sam Stewart is making his way out there. And also Dylan Richardson, actually is going to be the man in the number 20 jersey, not Stewart. And Hamish Watson makes his way off there. And also they say yawning is psychosomatic. You try to go 1 minute without yawning. All this yawning talk, I swear, is making me yawn even more. It's like up until we mentioned yawning, I had done it once. And now, since having a yawn counter at the bottom of the screen, it's gone way up. And now Japan taking on the 3 points. Now that will put them within the 7 points of a converted try. Really, another South African debut for Scott Swat as well. Says that Dwayne there. Speaking of South Africa, though, that game is getting very, very close. South Africa versus England, 3:36. Is what the time is sitting here in New Zealand. That game is going to be New Zealand time. It should be a very, very exciting one. What if you fall asleep while you are live, mate, as well? If that did happen, that would be very impressive that I can still, if I can sleep talk, I could be tricking you guys. Maybe if I learn how to sleep with my eyes open and also learn how to talk in my sleep, maybe I'm already asleep. Plot twist, but now at this stage, 20 points to Japan, 26 to Scotland, only a 6 points game as well. Has this become a yawncast instead of a broadcast? As us, this game is going that way a little bit also. We have got that. So here's the challenge, Hamish. Fewer yawns than tries so far at 6-5 to the yawns as well. Let's see if we can do it. Still another 8 minutes left in this game. You must not fall asleep as well, says this. And also some performance from the Brave Blossoms as well. They're 26-17 down to Scotland, but they're going back, or they've got a penalty and they chance to claw their way back as well. Says Kanakun and make that 20 as well. Yeah, they're doing very nicely. Big tackle there from Schoolman. And at this stage, Sam Skinner going off the field, and that is going to be, or coming on the field, and that is replacing Cummings, who was out there from the start. Can you remember my prediction, 35-18? So you're not too far off in that regard. If Scotland score one more, and now at this stage it's looking closer because that is a knock on from Japan once again here. Trying to get straight on the ball. Skinner passes the ball back. Dylan Richardson lined up in a great tackle there by, in the end, it was Nagaki. Was able to make that one. Sam Skinner, once again, another carry. He's only been out there for a minute or so already, carrying the ball twice. Horn looking to his side. Still going forward here for Scotland. Finn Russell with a nice step on the inside. Offload to Horn once again. Now Dylan Richardson right with him to get in that breakdown, but they're not really going too far forward here for Scotland. But as soon as they try and use that back line, I would assume it will start opening up. It is going to be the wide pass from Finn Russell out to Bayliss, tries to step on the inside. But Japan, currently their defensive line is holding well. Welcome in, mate, as well. Says Sebastian there, and England by 10. Says David Russell. Imagine it. That would be very impressive performance from England, and that one is coming up in only less than half an hour away almost. But now Finn Russell going back into the hands now. Attacking run from Chris Harris. Stuart Hogg, the man with him, decides against using Kinghorn. Good counter ruck there from Japan, and it bounces up for the captain, Lamasani. And now it is going to be available for the Japanese once again, using the backline rough pass there. But it's going to be taken nicely by Matsushima. Drawing pass. He's nailed in the tackle by Schoolman. He didn't hold back there. That is for sure. Did he get up? No, he did not. Not very quickly anyway. He's back to his feet now, but Japan currently sitting 40 meters out from their own line, still going forward. Good run there from the replacement prop. Looking to the short side here now. Was a flat pass from Saito, but it was forward. And also we have got there my two favourite Northern Hemisphere teams. Come on, Japan. Come on, Scotland as well, says Mike. And also Japan have just about never been out of this game as well. Scotland need to put them away or they'll be balls to the wall for the last 5 minutes as well. And also we have got there, what will the atmosphere be like right now? The respective dressing rooms for England versus South Africa. It's gonna be tense. Like, even though we are before the game, we're about half an hour away. Like, both of those sides are just gonna be sitting there waiting for their opportunity, like, to go out there. Joe Marler said about it as well in his press conference, while he was eating soup, of course, or drinking soup, depending on what you decide that you can do with soup. It's pretty much, he said that the younger players, like, they will be feeling a huge amount of pressure, but that's what an international rugby player wants. They want to be able to be in those big match situations, and you don't get much bigger than this game for either of the sides. It's going to be a reset of the scrum here. 5 minutes left between these two sides, one in each hand as well, and Japan could take this. Says Cashman, if they score one more try, they're in a good position. But it is that case of whether or not Scotland can hold on to the 6 points or get themselves maybe the one more. We have got there. Yep, you're absolutely right. And also, Marler was eating chili with no taste buds. Marler is magic as well, says Mike. And also, we have got there, Japan could claw their way back here as well, says Victor. Finn Russell, you know that he wants to take control of that back line. You know that he wants to close out this game as a win for Scotland. They know they've been in a fight up against Japan in this game. Japan have fought hard, but this is where Scotland want to show their class and want to be able to get the win. That's a big push. Too much movement, though, from the referee, he says. And now it is going to be the scrum reset. This uses up a little bit more time on the clock, though. And make sure to like and subscribe. Lovely stuff in the pin comment. Lovely streams coming up. Much appreciated as well, says Sebastian. You heard the man. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated. All you guys being here for this live stream. We are going to be back in a very short moment after this live stream finishes with our live stream of England versus Springboks. And that's going to be an absolutely awesome game as well. Hope New Zealand beat France and so for the last game as well, says Kiwi Game. And also Joe Marler is the embodiment of chaos. That's him. That's his new name as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, people absolutely love him, not just at the Harlequins, but just in general. Joe Marler, interviewers, maybe not so much, because they never know what he's going to say. And I feel like he makes a lot of people look like they are not the smartest with their questions. Like, if you ask him a stupid question, he'll tell you it's a stupid question and give you an answer about a horse. But now at this stage, Scotland driving their way forward once again, 40 meters out now. 3.5 minutes to go in this game as well, and they will be looking to just close out this one with a win here, Scotland. But if they can get themselves one more, I'm sure they would be very happy with that. Just hitting it up with their big forward, Dylan Richardson. Only just coming back out on the field. Horn now gives it off to Chris Harris. Had a very solid game in this one. Chris Harris, Schoolman now. Tacking run. Good run there from Schoolman. Driving his way forward quite nicely now. 30 meters out here for Scotland. Finn Russell. Wide cut out pass. Oh, it's risky. It's very risky, and it's gone almost into touch, but Bayliss going to be able to just hang on to it. And now they've got the advantage once again here for Scotland. So I believe that would be for an offside, which means that they could close out this game with a 9-point lead, but they will try and keep on attacking here. Try and get themselves one more try. Schoolman, the stage once again, and the ball up. Japan stealing that one, and it goes back for the penalty. And also New Zealand in the chat from Minecraft, and also New Zealand is full, are going to have their hands full. As I said, Eugene, they are indeed. France are definitely not a side you can underestimate. They are solid. Joe Marler has a YouTube channel, mate. Maybe you can do an interview. Says Sharp Brain. That would be pretty fun to be able to do if he does want to do it. But now it looks like they're going for the corner. Finn Russell wants the corner. Stuart Hogg saying to take the 3 points. And Finn Russell is saying... There you are. It was interesting there. Stuart Hogg was saying, take the 3. And Finn Russell's going, you know, mate, I could just put it in the corner. And Stuart Hogg was like, no, take the 3. Don't you be messing with me. This man was not happy. He was about to turn into Stuart Hogg. Zombie Stuart Hogg, that doesn't eat Finn Russell's brain if he didn't behave himself there. And with so many South Africans now living in England, do you think they will be well represented in the crowd? I hope they are. 82,000. Surely we're going to have a few South Africans and representative for that game as well. And New Zealand from pink shirt, and also the South African flag from Jeslo, and New Zealand from Kiwi Gamer. But Finn Russell now, he's going to be lining this one up. Could imagine Hamish still does rugby commentary while he sleeps. People sleep talk, and Hamish sleeps commentates as well. The funny thing is, I've learned not to try and get a couple hours sleep before a live stream. And the reason I've learned that is because a while ago, I believe it was the British and Irish Lions tour, I was trying to get a couple hours sleep just before the game to rest myself a little bit more, and it didn't work because every time I almost fell asleep, I'd wake up and be like, oh, I got to read the chat. And then I'd realize, hang on, Hamish, you're lying in your bed. There's no chat here at the moment. That one's gone over. So now 29 points to Scotland and 20 to Japan. 1 minute left in this game. Oh, that's Gary Wonka man as well, says Katie Dixon. But yeah, pretty much I do end up like going to sleep and then waking up because I think I've got to read the chat, even though the chat does not exist in my room because I am in the lounge at the moment. But yeah, you always end up thinking about the commentary, even if you're not doing it. You just end up still going. Chris Harris got man of the match. That is well deserved. He's played well throughout this one as well. But George Horn now looking for this ball at the back here for Scotland. They might as well attack here. It's their last game of this year, and they might as well make the most of it. Chris Harris there trying to work his way forward once again, making the meters, trying to join that ruck from the side there, Japan. Horn passes the ball backwards once again. It will be in the hands of Sam Skinner. They've been told that it's time, and they're firing it back into the pocket. And Finn Russell kicks it into touches. The England versus South Africa game on the same channel as well, says Darren Smith. It is indeed. We are going to be covering that game on this channel as well. And England fans always beat up other people because they lost as well, says Kiwi Gamer. And also, we have got the England fans beat up Italian fans last time they lost. It's why I don't like when the Springboks play there as well, says it Sharp. My voice tried to disappear for a second there, but it is going to be hopefully all right to keep on going. Now, what we are going to be doing, we're going to be transferring straight over to our next live stream that we will be covering for the Springboks, taking on the English side. Now, we were going to be starting it at 3:55, but we're a little bit ahead of time. So we will be able to start that one pretty much exactly when this one ends. So I will put the link in the chat for you guys to transfer over. I feel sorry for Italy lately, but pretty much what we will be doing is we will transfer straight over to that next live stream, and then we will be talking not just this match, but also that match between South Africa and England. It is coming up in a very short moment. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in a very short moment for that next live stream. Like I mentioned, link in that chat. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all in a very